So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us in the car, we could get 10 cocktails into the car, served.
What?
He's like, everybody down here's f***ing plastered. Please be careful. Bro. Are we doing the headphones thing this time?
I love doing that. It feels way better to do the headphones.
Let's do the headphones. I wouldn't mind it. Didn't you do it, Christian, when you were on? You did the headphones.
Ouch, Kitty, please do not put holes in my...
You sound completely different in person, bro.
I know. Hilarious.
Completely different.
He's a voice actor. That's why.
I am.
I did know that. I watched your show. So I liked what he's talking about, how like you guys fuck with accents and stuff. I do shit like that too, but I feel like I get stage fright and I would have to be alone. You just get on here like the one day you were like on here like, I don't know, laddie, it's been 27 fucking years, and I'm like, that's
this
great.
helps, dude. I get real weeded up, dude. And fucking
I
get
told
in
her, I
shit.
said we got drunk, and by the time that like we got to the end of the podcast, I was just basically screaming at Rhett.
You know. I don't know how many fucking. Oh shit. Oh, you're good. I don't know how. All right, that doesn't sound bad. Drone delivery on the fucking.
The headphones are great. That'll keep you.
Yeah, I even
me
tell
from
people like, you
screaming.
can fucking bring some fucking sunglasses, dude. Whatever's gonna make you feel fucking comfortable. You know, I'm trying to get him to wear a costume.
This is way too hot.
People fucking these things. They're American heroes. That's what he said.
Yeah,
those people are heroes. The intro now. We're back in the cellar. Another fucking feisty Friday here with Brian Lundgren. Super stoked always. Welcome, my friend.
How you doing, buddy?
Excellent, dude.
Good.
We missed a week. We talked about doing this every Friday
Oh man.
until the fucking internet gets sick of us or shuts us down.
Yeah. I think life gets hectic. Like tariffs slowed my work down, so I had to find like part-time gigs. Like I've been dropping Amazon packages off on people's doors. So if you see me, shout out. Like,
Fucking Trump, man, ruining your whole life.
no, I don't think. Now, like a lot of people don't know, and I mean we're new to this too. So yeah, like I recently had to slow down at my job because of tariffs. At least that's what they're blaming it on. But is it gonna fix a bunch of shit? That's what we're kind of waiting to see, I guess.
See, that's what everybody, at least, I mean, depending on what side you're talking to, that's where everybody's like, you know what, just hold on. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it's got to get worse before it can get better.
Exactly.
Don't fucking panic. Don't sell your fucking shares. You know, like.
And one thing me and my wife have been talking about, like, I've been working 60 some hours a week for years. That don't seem to be working. Maybe if we get dialed back and tighten our belt enough to where 40 hours a week, let's see what 40 hours a week looks like, maybe. Like,
Right.
you know?
Well, especially when it's like, okay, I'm putting in more time. Am I getting any further ahead?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
how am I putting in more work, more time, and I'm literally, if not in the same spot, I might be even worse off than I was a couple of years ago.
Well, like we were talking about, too, on the last podcast, they take it all in taxes. You know, it's just difficult when you look at what you make after it's like, if I didn't work all this overtime, they wouldn't have as much to take from me.
Well, and that's the funny thing, too. When you start working overtime, it's like, oh, my God, how am I making almost the same? I put in like 20 hours extra a week, and I'm literally like seeing like an extra $20-$30. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Not at all.
You know, and that's where, like, I mean, as far as in my lifetime, nobody ever said, like, hey, let's stop taxing overtime. Let's stop taxing tips. It's like, where was that fucking 20 years ago? Because you're damn right. If I'm literally taking time away from my own life and my family to further your fucking business, I should be able to make that money tax free. Like, what the, like, you just get fucked everywhere you're going.
And and sometimes we have to think, I think a lot of times too, as Americans in 2025, we have no appreciation for time anymore. Like, I work all the time, get nothing done. Like I told the wife, I'm looking forward to maybe being able to do some shit around the house.
Right.
Fix the house up. We work so much that when I'm not at work, I'm in my bed. You know?
That's no way to fucking live either,
Right.
too, because then you're just going to feel fucking oppressed. You know, what I mean?
Right.
Like, you're really not living, you're surviving at that point.
Yeah.
You know, and like we talked about the fact that in most cases, most Americans could not survive. I mean, what we say, like $1,000 emergency expense? I mean, I know, like I said, I mean, we've got a big successful business, but I'm telling you what, you know, whenever we have one client, one big client cancel, we're fucked. We're scrambling to try to make it up and try to, maintain and stay afloat. It's not like, anybody's really sitting easy to where like you could even afford to take
Right.
some time off for your own sanity and shit. Like
Right.
it's crazy that you're like, man, maybe being laid off is going to actually be a good thing. Like might actually have some time to myself. Like you shouldn't
Right.
have to live that way. You should
Right.
be able to balance it all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Could you imagine if you only had to work like, 30, 40 hours a week,
40 hours a week.
Yeah, my grandma always made fun of me for being the way that I am. She's like, "Yeah, you really fucking did it. You work 80 hours to avoid working 40. Like you really made it, right? Because she's right. I mean, I'll spend, literally 12, 13 hours a day working on my shit, so that I don't have to work a regular job.
Yeah.
But it's different whenever you're passionate about it, which I'm
It
sure when
is.
you're there, you're not feeling like it's work on a lot of days.
Not always, no.
You know.
But no, I totally get what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense. It's easy to put the time into something you're passionate about without getting.
Well, in the business, the brand is me. It's like so I'm investing in myself all day. So at the end of the day, it's not like who's gonna let me go. You know what I mean? Like so, I mean, if I put all my energy and time into myself, I'm not gonna fire myself. You know what I mean? Unless I hang it up at some point. But it's like when you put all that time and energy and effort into somebody else's business, they could decide tomorrow that you're not worth the dime that they're paying you to be there, and they're gonna move on and move up, and you're starting back at scratch. So it's like it's a tough position to be in, But I don't think your industry has to worry about it too much. Thankfully, like wood is pretty abundant, man, and like I don't think you have to worry too much.
I don't think we can stop. It's almost like petroleum, right? We're so
Ingrained.
that they can't. You're just not going to stop using toilet paper and particle board tomorrow. Nobody
Well, it's
can.
like that guy you were talking about. It's like, man, like we don't even have a solution for your alternative fabricated fucking lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we can sit here and speak
You-
fairy tales.
You watched that clip I sent you.
I'm telling you, it's amazing, dude. Like, I mean, you got to understand, like, we have to do with what we got, and I mean, we've only been here for a fraction of the time, so it's like essentially we got to deal with it with the cards we're dealt, like you just can't make something happen if you don't have the resources, like look at California that mandated all this electric car shit and then had to shut it down because it was putting too much strain on the grid. Like you can't even sustain your electric car fucking dream that you're.
That's wild to me, right?
Well, you got to look at logistics. It's like, and that guy, did you see the Mike Bond fucking episode? He's the Canadian.
Yeah.
I was asking him. He's not even sure either. Like, but I'm still pretty sure. I should have looked it up. If California, I'm pretty sure the majority of that state's powered by Canada. You know what I mean?
I'm
Like they're
pretty sure
fucking
you're
not
right.
even producing their own electricity. The fucking state that probably gets more sun than any fucking state in the country, and you can't even provide your own electricity.
I know.
I mean, what are we? We think you're the most advanced species on the planet. You fucking are a bunch of idiots.
And I love seeing Facebook memes that are like, why don't we just put solar panels on a garage at a fucking Walmart parking lot? And I'm like,
I mean, I've been that idiot. Why don't we do that?
well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
like
so simple. It's stupid. Like,
well, exactly. That's what I mean. Like I laugh about it all the time. It's like that bit. You know what I mean? Like pray to the sun comes up every day. Like I learned real quick putting them solar panels on my van. It's like holy shit! Like all that time that I spent trying to figure out how to pay my bills and stuff. Like I mean, that's a natural resource that's provided for us every day, and we currently have the technology that we could actually take that naturally gifted fucking power source and turn it into something we can use. And we don't.
Even when we are doing it, like we said, we put them up in fields and stuff. They don't cover parking lots with them. Like they should just
Right. Like the windmill situation to where it's just creating all kinds of adverse effects with nature and all kinds of shit going on with the people around it. It's an atrocious eyesore. Like solar panels, literally like, I don't know, I see it on YouTube ads all the time. Like, I don't know if it's actually Musk or if it's just clickbait, but solar panel shingles. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, talk about just killing two birds with one stone, eliminating the middleman. I mean, like, fuck a solar panel on my roof. I'm going to make the roof out of solar panels. And now you've got a fully sustainable home. Like, it doesn't take that much electricity to power a home. Your biggest units are your heating or your air conditioner, like microwave stupid shit.
Yeah.
You figure that kind of stuff out. And if I mean, basic electricity, which I don't, and I still kind of understand it, like, you create a battery cell.
Yeah.
Multiple batteries on a pallet. You got them all hooked up in conjunction. You're essentially filling that power bank, and then when the sun's not available or the power's not available, you run it off of that resource power. It's like It's a really simple fucking situation. I tried to get my mom and dad to do it, you know, whenever I started buying all this solar stuff for the van because they live completely off the grid. They put in their own pole, which I didn't even know was a thing. Like if you have your own property and it doesn't currently have electricity ran to that property,
Right.
you, the property owner, are responsible for putting in a fucking telephone pole. Their only job is to come and wire it together.
No
It's
shit.
like, how is the fucking, like, you're going to leave some civilian that has no experience with anything to his own devices to put his own power pole up, and then you're going to trust to wire your electricity into it? I'd have somebody there making sure that that pole's not going to fucking fall down. You know, like, they have to come out and inspect it and everything, but, like, why wouldn't you just have guys come out and put the pole in?
You would think that
I
would be
mean,
all. Yeah.
You think it would be all in one process, dig the hole, put the pole in, you know, but no, my dad had to dig the fucking hole himself, find his own pole, and put it in.
Really?
Yeah, he had to do the whole thing. They literally had to call once it was all installed, and they come out and fucking wired it in. You know, like it's just so it's retarded. I'm like, dude, and all the work you could have literally Amazon 3 solar panels and got started. In all seriousness, it was that easy because I was scared before I did it. But I'm telling you what, you pull that shit out of the box. A plugs into B.
No shit.
I mean, it has an inverter, which obviously gives me all my parameters. I can see how much I'm pulling in from the sun. I can see what my usage is, and then I mean, I'm a half-wit fucking idiot that can't do very good math, but like I can say, okay, well, I'm powering my TV, my cell phone, my computer. That uses X, Y, and Z amount of watts. You add it all up, and you figure out what your load is.
Yeah.
And that's it. I mean, like it's all basic math, really.
Alright.
You know, you figure out what your load is. You make sure that you're pulling in more than you're putting out. You know, it's like so. Yeah, it's pretty slick. Like I said, other than running like major appliances, you could run an entire fucking house just your lights and your TVs.
Well, like people used to dry their clothes in the 50s too, outside on the line. Like a lot of there used to be just a lot of alternate shit we used to do. We've gotten so far away from. I think.
Right.
Like something that we try to do a lot is cook outside at least. Like not on a fire or nothing, but
Right.
at least on a charcoal grill.
Well, just get out of the gas or electric range, you know, in the house.
Yes. Yeah, it's like we're always indoors. We don't do too much outside. Like Amish people, I think the reason their way of life is so much better than ours, they do so much simple shit. Like
Well,
wash
and
clothes.
They earn it, you know, and they're every morning. They don't take any of it for granted for the most part. You know what I mean? Especially when you know it's a physical labor to just do laundry. You don't just throw it in and fucking push a button and forget about it.
That's what we
You
do.
know what I mean? Because
right?
there we are. We complain about it like, I hate doing laundry. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, imagine if you had to fucking scrub it on a
They
washboard
scrub
for
it on
an
a
hour.
washboard, and then their houses out my dad's way are so
You're talking
neat
about the
'cause
fucking thing?
they got them
That's
big,
awesome, dude, on the pulley.
big clotheslines on pulleys, and
And they're running it like right out the window of the fucking house.
and you can see the whole fucking family on the clothesline because it's dad and then like boys
I
and
fucking
all
love it.
yeah.
I'm
And you can
telling
tell
you.
like they have 4 kids or 7 kids or 14 or 47 or however many fucking
Yeah,
they
and
have.
I love my life of technology and doing this, but I aspire, like, I love the simplicity again. Like, why do I need a fucking 220 plug and a fucking dryer and all that shit? Like,
And then and I had to pay $1,000 for it.
that's what I mean. It's like, oh my god, dude. Like, man, we actually survived, you know, with none of this shit.
None
You know?
of this shit.
Yeah, it's kind of incredible how much we really take for granted, dude, and like complain about how difficult things are now when everything's so effortless.
The funniest thing is when the power goes out, right? Like when the power goes out, we are screwed. As like, what would we do if it became a year or 2 or 3
With no
or-
power.
Yeah,
Oh, I'd be dancing in the streets.
That'd
brother.
be scary.
I'd be the happiest motherfucker in the world.
you think?
I would be, but that's just I'm fucking nuts.
I don't know. I don't know if by in a year if humanity's even alive with no power.
Listen, man, Facebook goes down and people are calling 911.
Well, my thing is like we talk about this shit at work, right? Because even guys are like, you know, you love hearing like redneck sawmill guys who are like, I'm prepared for things.
Yeah,
you know? And like we're like, no. There's no power. Like you're not understanding. Like you got your generator for how long? Till it fucking runs out of fuel?
Even gas pumps run on electricity, right?
Right. Where are you getting the fuel for anymore? Like you guys thinking far enough ahead to take the shit to the gas station to power the fucking fuel pumps? Like what are we doing here?
Yeah.
How far have we thought this out? You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying guys wouldn't think or gals wouldn't think of what to do. I'm just saying.
But again, you're only thinking really 2 steps ahead because
Yeah.
again, like, you know,
And
you
then-
got to think when the grocery stores have already been raided, when the fucking power is not existent. You know, it's like,
right. The only thing you really need to worry about is how you're gonna keep meat cold, because that's the one thing we can't do is like store food, right? So like that would be a major concern.
Yeah, that's the like. I mean, like, and that's where again, thank God where we live because there's a lot of resources that come naturally to an area like this. That, like, say in the West Coast, where I mean, like, you're battling keeping food. You know,
What are you gonna do in California?
that's what I mean. You couldn't
Yeah.
keep it for very long because you
Right.
have no control of the weather.
At
Here,
least you do hear the shit here, like, oh yeah, like if you go down a example, abandoned coal mines, you get down in a shaft so far, temperature equalizes anyway. You get a couple miles underground, it's a constant 55 degrees. You can like build ice cellars
well,
and
and I
shit
would
like
even
they used
argue
to
that
do,
probably
or whatever.
even through the summer, the temperature of the ground, you dig a couple. I mean, even just a foot down to the ground, I'm sure that the temperature of the ground's probably in the 30s and 40s.
Well, you're from Brookville. You know where the original ice hold was in Brookville, there beside the beer distributor down on Race Street,
Okay.
where that concrete tunnel is that goes back into the earth.
Right.
That was where the town originally kept their ice and stuff, because that's always been like.
See, I don't even know if I really even knew that. That's kind of fucking
Alright.
wild, dude.
Yeah.
A fucking ice reserve for the whole town.
Yeah, it was right where Plyler's Beverage is down in there. That's what that.
I used to go down there all the time.
Yeah,
That's
you-
what it was for.
Yeah, you know what that tunnel is
Yeah.
I'm talking about that goes back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
See, I kick
Yeah.
myself in the head all the time because again, like, you know, I like to fucking tout how, you know, further along I was, but like, boy, even then I didn't give a shit about even the history that was even around us at the time. It's like, man, like, because even just in the small areas that we've been in, man, there's so much fucking history around here.
What's it like? All right. On the first podcast, we talked about model railroading. I'm like looking up stuff for model railroading and where to get ideas, pictures, and the like. And I'm like, man, even though they ripped out all the tracks in our town, the shit's still there. Like, all you got to do is go down to Belgium town and you can walk right through the damn tunnel.
Right.
So
Yeah, none
we
of
went
that's
down and
updated
walked
or
through the
anything, right?
damn
Like-
tunnel. Like,
That's fucking badass too. I mean, because I'm sure, you know, obviously Pennsylvania was probably a mecca of the train era. You know,
it would have had to been. Brookville's really interesting, anyways. Like, I know Brookville kind of sucks as a podunk town,
for
but
what it is. But
if you read way back, like where Ace Hardware is, there used to be a big sawmill and shit right there alongside the river,
Man.
1800s or something, you know.
see, and that's the thing. I would almost rather like, you know, things that maybe just stayed that way. You know what I mean? A town may be better off just fucking producing, you know, like that. You know, like I love seeing like these little old brick plants and shit, dude. You know, but it's just like less and less anymore. You know, and I don't know if it's just because of like, you know, whatever. People getting bought out, shit's getting, you know, produced overseas now. Everything's automated in autonomous fucking factory now. But like, I remember working the scrapyard and ripping down Bauer Block, and it was such a trip. It was like, man, I remember coming past here every fucking day, dude, like gawking at the guys driving dump trucks and pouring cement and making fucking block, and I'm in here ripping the place down, dude. It's like unbelievable, dude. Like, I thought this place would be here forever.
Yeah.
You know, you're always gonna need fucking cement and cinder blocks, but just, you know, sold out to fucking China or some shit, dude. And it just didn't make any sense to pay American workers to fucking do it. You could do it cheaper overseas and send it back.
Yep.
Like, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. You know, and it's like I was a kid learning about that shit and didn't understand it. And like now we see like the long term effects of it. And it's like, holy shit, like we're just now starting to maybe think that maybe we should get our fair share. Like, wait a minute, we've been getting ripped off for that long?
Yeah. Isn't
Like, holy fuck, man.
because we know no different. Like,
You just think it's normal. You know, I mean, like, I mean, how long have we been laughing about everything says made in China, made in China? You know what that really means? That means nothing's being made here, dude. Like, nothing is being made here.
And
We
that-
don't manufacture shit.
and that should be very concerning.
Well, especially it's like, what are you driving? A foreign car? You got a fucking, I mean, everything. Your foreign fucking phone, your TV's from fucking Taiwan. It's like, man, like, don't you have any pride in like maybe having something that was made here, maybe downtown? You know, because I remember like, I mean, like we just talked about the Straw Brewery. I mean, that Straw Brewery's been there fucking 1800s. You know what I mean? So it's maybe 1900s, but.
Okay.
But I mean, that used to be the mecca of the town, the fucking brewery. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, like, every kid coming up, like, oh, I'm going to work at the fucking brewery. You know what I mean? Like, that was the job.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you're producing something that's globally shipped, and it's like, I mean, there was some pride in that.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like everything's just, like, fucking jerked off on, and, you know what I mean? Nobody has any fucking pride in it anymore. You know,
No.
everything's just mass produced. I can get the same thing on Temu for fucking $2.
Uh-huh.
You know, why would I fucking want some American-made, handmade, you know, something that some guy fucking put his heart into? I'll just get some sweatshop fucking version. You know, it's like, it's a really weird thing. Like, nobody really wants anything like that anymore. Yeah. Hopefully it's coming back. Yeah.
I just listening to like, it was like just a thing on YouTube. Different news channels have put together all this shit about tariffs and stuff, and I was trying to understand what's going on right now in our current situation in this country.
It's weird. We're in a real trade war.
Yeah,
Maybe for the first time in our life.
that's what they're calling it, trade war.
Sounds, it makes a good headline.
Yeah, but like I don't really understand enough to. All I know is it seems like nothing's really changed. Again, it's still kind of the same. But the point I was going to get to with it, what I was hearing about is they're saying like, oh, well, even if it brings manufacturing jobs back to the United States, right, then they'll be done by robots. And I'm thinking, so what? You still, like, that's only a quarter of any process. You know that. Like,
Yeah.
what part of any job could you automate? Like, I'm not even worried about my job. We've talked about that. There's
Right.
no automation coming to sawmills. Please bring it. That way it saves our backs. But
Well,
you still need people with certain, like in the shipping aspect, the shit has to go on trucks. It has to be driven, loaded, unloaded, wrapped,
Right.
packaged. Like right now, I was, like I said, helping a friend out with the Amazon delivery shit. If you find a Tesla robot that can run what I did today, cool. I'll put him in the truck.
Right.
He can jump his ass out every 10 feet and get muddy shoes and you know what I mean? Like,
or maybe he could just drive you fucking spot to spot and you can fucking chill and you just gotta get out and do that.
let
You know,
that
so
go
there's a
out.
lot of things that, like, okay, you want to bring automation in, that's fine, because again, you're not gonna be able to find a process that you can automate at 100%.
no.
You're still gonna need some kind of human oversight. You're still gonna need someone to program the fucking robot. You're still gonna need someone to fucking start it up, and you know, I mean, there still has to be so much human oversight. I mean, like, it's not maybe in our lifetime. I don't think. Maybe at some point it'll get to full
Well, my
automation.
thing is with automation, the biggest thing is that I would want to bring up like who works on robots. There's people that go to school that work on robotics. Like
I fucking
you
hope
can't
so.
you can't tell me that arm that's holding that welder or moving that thing or whatever. Because believe me, I work with machinery every day. That thing does that function 1,000 times a day. The bolts and shit are gonna come loose.
Right, it doesn't wear out.
Is
It
it
doesn't
gonna fix
malfunction.
itself? Does it know to pick up its own? Those are just serious questions.
Right.
Is the damn thing gonna grease
Well,
itself and maintain itself, or?
Or do you think, okay, well, that robot malfunctioned. I'm bringing the robot repair robot. You know what I mean? Is that what you think? Like,
What
is that
happens
gonna
when
be...
that one takes a shit?
So you just think like, well, the robot's going to be the manufacturer, the robot's going to be the mechanic, the robot's going to be the fucking boss. Well, you know what I mean? We don't have to pay anybody. It's like, you're still going to pay the guy who's creating all these fucking robots. You know what I mean? Like, that's still a job. Like, you can keep going. You got to have a human.
Yes.
You know, and this is something I've dabbled with before. I think maybe that is our fucking purpose on this planet. We are simply here to fucking produce technology that will further advance whatever the fucking main scheme is of this whole thing.
All right.
You know, did you see that they recently now with James Webb's telescope, they think that we're living actually inside a supermassive black hole, and that's why we're getting confusing results as far as looking at stars over here that seem to be moving at a different rate than over here. They think that we're like looking out like the peephole of a black hole, that like we're able to see things over here, but what we're seeing over here is at a different time.
Really?
Dude, I love this shit. And did you see the shit about the pyramids?
I did see the shit about the pyramids.
I mean-
did you see here recently too that we decided to just bring dire wolves
Oh,
back
no.
from extinction? What the fuck? Did you see that? You
Yeah,
looked at
but
me
I don't
like
know if I believe it. I didn't even get even.
Oh
into
yeah,
it.
it's totally believable.
I didn't
Rogan
even-
already had the dude on the show that fucking brought him back.
What?
I was like, are you serious? Like this? Oh yeah, he's planning on woolly mammoths and all this other shit. So then I brought that up to a guy today, and he's like, woolly mammoths? I don't know. He's like, how long does it take them to grow to maturity so we can kill them and then eat them?
Like, man, fucking bison burger stocks went way up. Holy fuck. Man.
Because them things are huge,
Bring it
right?
back
They're like
just
the
to
size
kill
of
it.
an elephant.
Bring it back just to kill it and eat it. Like, you know, it's been a couple fucking centuries since I had one of them mammoth burgers, man.
But what if someone does fuck around and bring a dinosaur back? Like we've all seen Jurassic Park. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
An exquisite film. That's an exquisite film.
The original one, the first one. Like, I love it.
Exquisite film.
They're moving in herds. They do move in herds.
Just talk about Jurassic Park for a minute. But no, I would believe that they're probably doing this shit already, and that's probably why long ago, and maybe from time to time, people have these Sasquatch fucking sightings or Loch Ness monster sightings, because I feel like they probably are creating all kinds of stupid shit in the lab, bringing all kinds of shit back in the lab, and they're like, oh fuck, well that ain't gonna fucking work. Dump that in the fucking pond over there in France. Let it live there. The fucking French people won't even fucking notice. Yeah. Did you see there was a recent Loch Ness monster sighting too?
No.
Last month. But I fucking worry because, again, all the good
AI.
shit that could be happening in the world right now, why not throw out some shit to distract us all from what's, coming out? Because, I mean, like I said, there's a lot coming out. People are fucking, about to lose it, I think. I'm waiting for this Epstein stuff to come out, dude. I can't fucking wait. I haven't watched any news, though, because I have to sometimes unplug because, again, I get too involved, and then I listen to something, I find something out, well, then I got to go find out if that's true, so I get into this rabbit hole of just, I check every source. I'll go to fucking every news station, I'll go to, into the deep web and try to find stuff out, so, like, I haven't really watched anything. I'm just trying to watch comedy, do tattoos, I'm just trying to fucking chill, But yeah, so like I'm like, man, Nessie come out. They're like they fucking bringing back this extinct wolf. What else happened? I mean, a bunch of weird shit. That just like the pyramids thing was like, I feel like they're throwing out a bunch of fucking crazy shit for us just to fucking chew on. A bunch of crumbs. Hey, why don't you go over here? Stop looking at what we're doing. Do this
What
over
is
here.
going on with the Epstein list? I thought that was coming
It
out.
fucking just every time it's supposed to happen, it just fucking disappears. Who knows? I don't know. It's like I don't know. It's just what?
Yeah, the Epstein list did come out.
Did it?
But what we already knew, client lists and stuff like that. Like I want to know who in the fuck was actually involved because that Maxine fucking whatever has been sitting in jail, prison for sex trafficking, but yet there's nobody else being charged. Well, who did she traffic sex to?
Right.
There would have to be a reciprocant for her to be even charged with sex trafficking, or else she's just sexting. You know what I mean? Like, traffic by itself is fine. Sex by itself is fine. You just can't sex traffic. So it's like, we got to know who she trafficked the sex to. So somebody else should be involved, obviously. I mean, you could say Jeffrey Epstein, but they know that they weren't just trafficking the sex between each other. There was islands and planes and other people involved. I mean, fucking Stephen Hawking was rolling over some sex in there.
When minors and stuff get involved, it's a problem, right? But why is selling fucking illegal? Like, George Carlin had a whole bit about that. He's like, why is selling fucking illegal?
It's not.
Fucking is legal. Selling shit is legal. Why isn't selling fucking legal?
It's not. And I've fucking said that for a long time. Like, prostitution should be legal. Completely legal. You know what I mean?
Why
because
not?
If
it's
I
legal
have
to have sex.
If I have a body and it can do sex, I should be able to charge. I mean, like, if you want to have it, and I say, hey, you know what? It's worth $10, dude. It ain't free. That's for me to decide. I know my self-worth. You know what I mean? Like, how is that illegal? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I've always been all for that. It's just like with tattooing. Like, if you're underage, you're not mentally competent enough to make those kind of choices.
Right.
Agreed. Maybe you should wait until you're 21 to smoke or have sex or do anything. Drive a car, maybe. Because that's a murder weapon.
I'm thinking driving a car should be a big one anymore.
Especially because if you're allowed to have a cell phone at 10 years old, you shouldn't be allowed to fucking have them in the same place at least till you're 21 and understand the responsibility of using the two things together. You know what I mean? Let's fucking talk about that for a second because it's so stupid that, like, I can be glued to this thing all day, and not have to at least make the conscious decision, do I put this down while I step into this murder machine and go out on the road?
Right.
Because like you said before, I never even realized that about how vulnerable you are on a bike. Someone coming up even at 10 miles an hour, texting and not watching, hits you in the back of your bike, dude, you could be projected into the next vehicle in front of you, and your life's over. There's a kid without a dad because some bitch needed to fucking like her Instagram post or something. It's like
right.
that quick. A whole fucking world could change. It's like, if anything, this thing should be diffused. They have a breathalyzer that you can't drive while you're intoxicated. Maybe they should have a fucking thing where if this thing is connected to social media, my fucking car doesn't start. I mean, the technology's probably there.
I think that's why we'll go eventually electric cars. Me and the wife talk about it all the time when there will be a day where there's like electric cars or sensors in the road or something. And basically you get in your robotic automated car and you punch in, you know,
Your destination.
the shop. You got to go down to the shop, right? So you get in the morning, you go to the shop, and it just takes you there. There'll be zero accidents, zero. Who knows? But the problem
Zero.
is
Because technology is not foolproof either.
we also are so busy sending our money overseas that we can't even pave the fucking roads right now. So I don't know how.
Yeah, how was your Tesla working on the fucking back roads?
Right, I don't know where we're
Yeah.
at for putting sensors in the road and all that just yet.
It's
Why don't
like-
we worry about building them first?
Collision detection, it wouldn't even fucking move in half these streets in Pennsylvania. You'd be like,
Right.
you know what? You're driving in a minefield, sir. You should probably just get out of the car. Like, no, I swear, this is my driveway. It's my fucking road to my house. You're in a third world country, sir. But in all seriousness, I wouldn't be opposed to automated driving. I mean, I love driving, but dude, I can check out. I haven't probably drove, I mean, in probably a solid, maybe even a fucking year. Maybe
Oh.
almost a year. Because, I mean, at this point, you know, I just don't need to. You know what I mean?
Well-
Like, I got to ride back and forth to the fucking shop, and I would rather pedal my bike or walk if I could go somewhere. I live in town now, so it's like, realistically, dude, I could give up driving. I like the thrill, but I get that thrill on two wheels more than I do in a car. In a car, I'm in a unit that I can smoke cigarettes and drive and listen to music. It's like it's a different thing. It's like,
What I was gonna say too, nowadays you can't get the thrill no more. Like I see some videos online and stuff, of people like really ripping it up on the streets, but those people are just crazy or they get in accidents. So like, you almost need a car that you can take to a closed course or something, and run it there to get the thrill because there is no like I like to rip it up on the road as much as the next guy. But then I'm like, oh, that was fun for 10 seconds, and
Well,
now
you
there's
like to-
somebody
right.
texting and driving.
you
so.
like to rip it up. Period. That's it. You know what I mean? Like the road, like you said, if anything, that's just a diluted version because obviously you're not so reckless that you don't care about mother and
Right.
child in this car
Right.
and somebody there. And very seldomly are you on an open road with such disregard
never.
because again, you don't know, deer could jump out, you know. And I actually, I don't remember if I actually knew this girl, or if it was just someone that I was friends with through social media. But I forget where she was living, but obviously a place that had like a driving school for drifting and kind of get into racing. And like, even if you didn't want to be a fucking pro racer, you could go in there and take classes
Right.
and learn how to fucking drive and drift and do that. And like, obviously she eventually built up her own car and all this stuff. And like, I mean, that would be the fucking best time ever. Even if you could just go in there and rent a car for a couple hours. I don't have to dump a bunch of money into it and
Right.
house it and all this shit, you know, like just go in there and fucking tear shit up, dude. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be so much fun, dude.
Yeah, closed course. You don't have to worry about anybody getting hurt per se, like maybe yourself.
Well, and
but-
plus I couldn't afford just to have that kind of a splurge of a hobby. You know what I mean? Like that's just a hobby. That's just for me to get my rocks off for a handful of minutes. Like that's a lot of money
Oh, yeah.
to invest and a lot of time to invest. I'd have to, you know, I mean, you figure a car and all of the modifications and shit. Like there should be a place like that, you know. You figure, I mean, what would be the hardest part? I knew just because I had a bike shop for a little bit in a skate park is the insurance. Because
Yeah.
oh my god, dude, people
Yeah.
get in there and fucking, you're gonna expect them to almost kill
Insurance
themselves.
won't let you do anything now.
But we have like an airport stuff like that, dude. That's where you would do that stuff because they have drag races and shit at our airport all the
Yeah.
time. I'll have to call you guys up sometime. They're doing it up here. It's actually pretty sick. They fly planes and shit in and out of there. You can actually hop in a Cessna, a little. I didn't do it. You know,
She would love that.
I would love it until I start remembering the Smithsonian Channel. I told you I watch a lot of fucking air disasters. You know,
Like I
see
said,
that-
I've never been in a plane. We talked about that last time. Never been in a plane. Should get in one and then jump out of it. That's what I should do.
that would be the fucking best way, dude. You're
Yeah.
like,
And I could say I went flying first time, skydiving first time. I think the first time dude has to hold you anyway. They won't let you like jump by yourself.
that's something you work up to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
think
gotta be
gotta
like
jump a couple times.
certified for solo or something like that. Yeah, you definitely get strapped in because that's like my biggest worry is like I don't trust equipment enough. I'm like, I get the defective one. I worked in quality control before. I know that shit gets through. Little Indugu fucking forgot to fucking test the ripcord today because he didn't get enough sleep last night. He was playing Fortnite. Now Rhett's dead. I don't want that on my motherfucking tombstone. So I just stay on the fucking ground. Because again, like I get the same exact thrill, dude, if I go out on that bicycle, dude, and go jump a fucking bank into a wall and grind a rail or something. Like I get the exact same, if not more. Because again, I'm alive afterwards, and I know I'm gonna be. So like, there's that whole, contemplating death thing. Because even when I go get into a plane to fly somewhere, like, because I've never been skydiving, no, bungee jumping, a little bit different. You got a little bit of a safety net there, you know what I mean? But like, just flying in general makes me have anxiety, just because like I just don't, I don't like the whole idea of it.
I don't like it either. I do not like it.
Again, risk versus reward. Like I could have a fucking panic attack thinking about a plane that I was already on and landed in. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, why did I do that? I can't believe I was in that motherfucker. I was way up there. Holy shit. Like no, I don't know. It's just not worth it. I'd rather drive.
Yes.
See more that way anyway.
You do get to see more. My thing is how do we get to other parts of the world? I'd like to see other parts of the world, but that all involves getting on a damn plane.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, you could just get on a boat, and it takes like a month to get on.
What?
Scared to get back on a plane.
What I learned, because I lived in my van for a couple years, and I thought the same thing. Wow, you know what? There's places that I would love to go that I can't take my van. So I did some research, and how people that do the van life thing go to different countries is utilizing shipping containers. So whether you buy one or rent space in a shipping container, much, much cheaper, and it's actually safer than a ferry, which is how you would normally take your vehicle to another country. You'd have to ferry it. So on a ferry, you actually aren't allowed to even lock your doors. You have to give up your keys to the people because they're responsible for moving the cars as they pick up more cars and shit.
Right.
They're essentially the valet.
Yes.
So again, foreign fucking uncharted waters, and somebody else has your fucking keys, and in my case, my fucking vehicle was my house. Everything I owned was in there, so that was no bueno. So the best way to do it is that you can actually rent or buy a shipping container, and then I padlock that motherfucker whenever I close the door up, and then it doesn't open again until I'm over there. So I would still have to take a boat or a cruise or something over there, but I could get my vehicle. So I'm like, well, it's my house.
Yeah.
How long would I really have to stay camped out in this motherfucker? Maybe I could just stay in the van, in the shipping container, and ride the fucking boat over. Maybe it'd be a week or something. Might be a little bit of a rough ride. They probably fucking, I don't know if they have to crane you or what.
I was going to say, you need to look up videos of those shipping containers falling off those fucking things out in the ocean. You'd be rethinking this story you're telling me right now.
Yeah, how fucking awesome that would be.
I've seen a whole fucking stacks of them falling off them big ships out in the ocean. Like, people are like, oh, that's why my Temu shit never came. Like,
here I am. I'm like, what the fuck? Delayed shipping, you son of a bitches. It's in the fucking Atlantic floating around.
You go out where
Man, you know how terrifying that would be? In the van, in the shipping container, double claustrophobia, filling up with water, with my cat.
I watch these videos of like drilling rigs and shit that are out on the North Sea and shit, and it's just like, I don't know how, listen. And then people say them guys like, oh, must be nice to make that kind of money. Go live on an oil rig then in the ocean, because like
there's a reason they make that much.
They get paid for every penny. I wouldn't want to do it. I watched the movie Deepwater Horizon. I'm cool.
The great fucking movie. Oh my god. Because I never considered like bad weather. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, well, you're out in the middle of the ocean. There's nothing really out there that could get you.
Depending on where you're at, that's what I mean. Like Deepwater Horizon even was filmed in the Gulf of Mexico. That's where it happened. I don't know if that's where it was filmed, but
Gulf of America.
Yes, Gulf of America. Gulf of Mexico.
Look at her fucking face.
Gulf of Mexico at that time. Things have changed names all throughout the course of history. If you've ever been to New Orleans, you would know this. Because New Orleans used to be a completely different country before it was America. So, yeah. Gulf of America, whatever.
That's crazy, though.
They were all right to, like, jump, even. You're not...
How high is it, though? Like,
I don't know.
How many stories do you have in even a ballpark?
I don't. But, like, if you
Probably
jump out...
fucking hot.
If you jump out in the North Sea when the water's 30 degrees and the waves are 40 foot high, you're done for.
Yeah, you might die on impact. just from shock.
Yeah.
You know, because people, water is deceiving, but like I've been skiing, wakeboarding, all that shit. Like when you hit water with velocity, it is solid, dude. It's like a fucking
solid.
cement fucking brick.
That's what people say. It's the same as hitting cement. And I know it is. If you hit
dude.
water at 40, 50, 60 mile an hour.
Oh,
you're
dude. I
tore
hope my
up.
brother watches this, dude. Like, we were out, which actually since the last time you were up here, dude, I actually got a message from him, dude. Like the universe we spoke about it and now he's back.
Funny how that works out.
Funny how that works. But so when I was young, I was terrified at the time, but out at Crooked Creek, they had an opening in the fence and you could fucking launch yourself out off of that cliff. And it was probably only like 85, 90 feet. Well, it was definitely under 100 feet. But like, it was fucking terrifying. Like, kids had fallen off of that drunk and fucking died, bouncing off the cliff and shit. They ended up closing it up. But like, he made me realize real quick because like they were diving off of it. And if you don't pencil dive when you hit the water, any part of your body that's hitting level with that water, dude, like, I mean, his fucking hole from armpit to wrist was black and blue. Like, it was literally like he was in a car wreck, dude. Like, it was so crazy. You don't understand how, like, and just the sound of him hitting the water, dude, like, you thought he was breaking bones and shit, dude. It was like, holy fuck.
I don't know if there's any truth to this or not, so maybe people can correct us or whatever in the comments if they know this. I was talked to a guy who was in the Navy, and he said about guys jumping off, like, aircraft carriers and shit. And like you were saying, you got to be wrapped up in a perfect pencil, knees crossed, and all this shit when you hit the water, or you'll break bones.
Well, especially
aircraft carriers, like what, really high.
Well, especially I would imagine in the ocean where you're not jumping into calm water because like what we're talking about is like a quarry where it's still water.
Still.
I mean, I would imagine if you're talking about not only choppy water but cold water. I mean, oh my god, dude! Like I said, like you could literally because it knocks the wind out of you anyway, So it's like I couldn't even imagine. Like there's probably so many people that fucking. I mean, maybe not because they're probably trained. If you got to jump off of that thing, it's probably a life or death situation.
Right.
That's last ditch effort.
Right.
But
yeah, why would you jump off a perfectly good fucking boat in the middle of the ocean, you dumbass?
It's almost like why would you jump out of a perfectly good fucking airplane?
Didn't we talk about that last time? You had a perfectly good airplane. Why'd you jump out of the fucking thing? Well, we thought it would be fun. It's like a motorcycle. It's an engine you wear right here. Like people, there's a whole thing about the motorcycle and where'd that come from? Well, can you imagine the first guy thought that up? Well, where do you sit? On it. On what? The motor.
For real.
Just
dude.
right on the fucking motor, huh? Yeah.
And in between you and it's going to be a fucking big tank of gasoline. Like, okay, fucking Barney Rubble. Fucking watch it explode. Seriously, because that's what I always wondered. Like, if you tipped it over, you know what I mean? Like, could you puncture that gas tank, sparks,
No. Well, maybe back in the day, they're double walled. We have the bike I bought, like I told you that I would let you ride and stuff to go riding with me. We bought like a second bike, a stable bike. And whoever had it before us, it's been laid down.
Oh, really?
She's been laid down hard a few times. I guess handlebars are a little tweaked.
Yeah, when you're a beginner rider, I mean, like, because even sitting still is like people don't realize how hard it is just to keep it up while you're not moving. It's actually harder when you're not moving.
Yes, very hard. All your dumps and a lot of your I don't know the exact statistic, but I'm just gonna say it's in the 90% of your little motorcycle mishaps are all going to happen at low speed, parking lot, getting it in and out of the driveway, pulling out.
Or something.
I've never just been rolling up the road 50 mile an hour and it's like, yeah, I'm going to lay my bike down.
Right.
No, well, it's like trying to get out of fucking Dollar General and you're like, whoa, whoops. Like,
well, and even like you said, turning too sharp. You know what I mean? Like, because I know, like on that thing, if I just cut just a hair too fucking sharp, weight just dumps over. You know what I mean? Like your wheel's going to cut in, you're going to jackknife, essentially, like a rig. And it's just physics is going to take over at that point. So it's like most times it's something so stupid, but I've seen people fucking pinned under their bike and then you got exhaust pipe laying on their fucking leg.
Yes.
It's like people riding in shorts. It's like, are you trying to fucking get burned up or, are you just stupid?
Yeah, they say to dress for the slide and not for the ride. You go out there trying to look cute and then you end up hamburger meat going down or,
Well, I was going to wear the leathers, but the Daisy Dukes get me a lot more attention.
Yeah, but now your legs don't look too good to show off no more, ever.
Oh my God, you might not even have a fucking leg, dude. Like, because there's nothing worse than road rash, dude. And we're talking even at a, like I said, 10, 20 mile an hour, dude, you're getting chewed up, dude. Like, Yeah.
But yeah, to go back to that original point, so the bike we have is a stable bike. It's been dropped hard a few times, and it's double wall tank. So the tank has a big whammo in it, but it don't leak fuel or nothing because it's essentially not damaged.
Right,
you know.
right.
But I imagine back, and the other thing, like I've seen videos online of crotch rockets and stuff. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have a double walled tank. Like you hit concrete barriers and shit at 160, that shit's ripping open. It doesn't
Right.
matter, you know. They'll sever.
Well, and that might even be compression too. I mean, you figure like impact,
explode,
blowout,
right?
you know, because like you said, I mean, I'm sure just they're probably tested to a certain extent of wear and tear. Because I have seen a lot of people dumping street bikes like in interstates and stuff like that at high speed. You see sparks, but never like I've never seen like a gas tank, I guess, blown open or nothing.
Ripped open, right?
You know, and these motherfuckers, I'm sure, are doing well over 100 mile an hour when they dump them. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. These wheelie assholes on the interstate and stuff. Like, I almost laugh, but it's like, oh my fucking god, could you imagine you just skipping? We talk about skipping across water at high speed. Like, I don't care if you're in full leather.
Right.
Oh my god, you're breaking every fucking bone.
Oh my god.
Oh,
watch
man.
watch anything to do with the Isle of Man TT. That's something
Iowa Man TT.
Isle of Man.
Isle
so
of
it's
Man.
it takes place on the Isle of Man. I think every year. The only year there was no fatalities was the year that it was closed for COVID. They didn't run the race. Every year this motorsports event takes more lives than like anything that you.
That's
It
fucking
averages like 3 or 4 guys a year get killed. I think the worst year they ever had it like 6 or 9. So if you know anything about the Isle of Man, it's an invitational race. You got to be in the best of the best, and they run the fastest of fastest crotch rockets. It's a 27-mile course. I think they complete 27 miles, and the average time's in like 6 or 7 minutes.
Oh my god.
So it's top gear, 200, 300 mile an hour speed records have been
What's
set.
the track layout like? Is it just...
It's an open course on the Isle of Man. You should bring it up. It goes on past your house. It goes
So
on.
it's just on normal streets. It's not a closed course.
So this is why it's on our bucket list. Her and I have talked about doing this at length. We could go over there. You can ride, like me and you and your wife, my wife, him and his wife. We could go over there and be on a course, be on the course riding our motorcycles 2 hours before they go live. And then they will clear the course.
It's
and
just open to the public.
It is on the street. There's people laying in the grass, holding their phones out, getting videos of motor. Just Google Isle of Man TT.
Iowa?
No, it's going to be
Isle?
ISEL, I think.
Oh, Isle.
Isle of Man.
No, ISL.
Man, because it's like I see those. I'm sure it's in foreign countries all the time because they're always racing Fiat and shit and Subarus and stuff. All the like the Baja, road course shit. I love that stuff. Like where they're jumping on and shit.
Oh my god, the rally.
You see that how close the fucking audience is to those motherfuckers? Dude?
So close. I seen videos where they're splitting the crowd. These assholes are standing out on the roads, and here these guys come, like you were saying, in this WRX. It's like super built, like this shit Ken Block and those guys do.
Exactly the thing we're talking about.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like you have to be just as brave almost to be a fan to be a driver because these motherfuckers have no regard for their life.
She'll find out on the stuff about the Isle of Man. There's also been many years at the Isle of Man TT where spectators. Yeah, because you figure if a crotch rocket hits the road at 240.
So unimaginable.
It's going down.
Especially because how much does a bike weigh? I mean, we're talking a couple 100 pounds.
Especially
of
race bikes
hot
like those.
metal.
Those race bikes like that are going to be 300 to 400 pounds probably.
I mean, that is a fucking big ass bullet, dude, coming right into a pile of people.
I know you would love this because I watched your reaction video to the dude jumping from space. So even if she brings up a clip, anything of this,
I've always been a motorhead, and anything extreme. Yeah, just do a, whatever, 15-second fucking short. Let's see, you can do really any of those. It don't matter because you just fucking mute it.
We won't get copyrighted if we mute it, right?
Right.
But once a year they put on this big invitational motorcycle race over there that literally the course will run right around the island, so it can go right past your house,
And
right
how
through
many people are we
towns.
talking? Like, I mean, is this like obviously you said invite only, so it's just the best of the best. It's not just like a
I'd imagine it has 100 riders or something.
man.
And like I said, at least one or two of them get killed every year at this. It's just
Oh, see, I have so much love for riding bikes and going fast and just doing gnarly shit. But like again, we talk about risk versus reward. It's like, man, I don't even know if I would want to ever even possess one, dude, because I would fuck myself up so quick.
what made me bring this up was the guys who talk about like, all right, so this is an invitational race on that big island, happens once a year, and like you heard this guy talk about who'd been doing the event. For one, when you get there, if you would even get the invite, you have to go ride on day before with this guy to even he'll even decide if you're up to par, then to even make the race.
That's good though, because again, you can't just have anybody out there letting
No.
loose. Go back down. Look at that scrub. That's scroll down to that next short. Look at this good shit. Boom! That's my shit right there, brother.
That's really good.
Boom! Damn, there's nothing fucking better than a fucking steezy ass fucking whip, dude. Oh my god. That's better than any fucking trick in the book, dude. That's so steezy, dude. Look at that. Get the hell out of here, World Star. Scrub. All right. I don't want no scrubs. All right.
But yeah, this dude will take you out on the course to make sure you're even up to par to make it. And the guy that they were interviewing said that one of the worst parts is knowing that, like, at the beginning of that race, there's so much excitement, but you know that you're going to get 20, 30 minutes into it and you're going to get that call and you know that some dude's up in pieces, like up
Right.
there on that road. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
I wonder.
crazy. But we want to get, that's on our bucket list, is to go to the Isle of Man for the TT. We want to rent a motorcycle when we were over there and go riding. I told her we'll rent a fancy BMW touring bike and go for a spin.
But a street bike? You talking about a fucking crotch rocket, or are you talking about a regular motorcycle?
No, like we'll rent a big one. Me and her
Yeah,
can both
okay.
ride.
I was gonna say like because you can just ride a regular bike on the course. You
Oh,
don't have
yeah.
to fucking take a
No. We won't be going. It'll be regular traffic laws apply.
right. Look it up and see where it's at. Did you say where it was at? I know it's its own island, but like,
England and
wow. Did you look up cost? Like, what does that look
We
like?
haven't looked into that because I told her it'll be one of them ones we do when we're in our 50s or 60s when we
Or
get
whenever.
older.
I mean, you might fall into the opportunity to do
Or
it before then.
yeah, maybe I'll
hopefully-
win the fucking lottery. Right.
You know, but man, how fucking cool! Because like something like that, like we talked about, like your honeymoon briefly, like that's
Mhm.
where like you say like that's gonna be the honey. You know what I mean, so like maybe aim for maybe I don't know how old you are. Maybe when you're 40. You know what I mean? Like, you're not 40 yet.
No,
right?
but I
No.
only got a couple years to get to the Isle of Man if
We'll
I'm
get you
going
there.
before I'm 40.
He's gonna start his podcast fucking two weeks from today. I don't know when you're gonna start it.
It's funny you brought that up, that we are going to start another podcast, right, Rhett? You're going to help me produce the Lumberman show.
Yeah,
We haven't coined a title yet, but
Yeah, if anybody's got any suggestions, no gay shit. But Sawin fucking Logs was my idea.
Sawin Logs.
That's my bucket in the hat. Yeah, she
Absolute.
said it's between England and Ireland. That's amazing. Yeah, because you figure too, obviously, you go over there for that. There's going to be tons of other shit to experience. I mean, like, just the whole entire package deal would be incredible to fucking see. You know, and what better reason to go over, to do something like that? Because obviously it doesn't happen anywhere else in the world. This is the only place
Right.
they have it.
Right.
How long has this been going on, do you think?
Oh, man. A lot of years. I'm not 100% sure. I want to say there's been at least 30 or 40 of
Wow.
them, maybe.
See, and I've never heard it. And, like, again,
I
was
never
always in
knew
a-
about it. What happened to me was watching like YouTube shorts and reels and stuff. I started seeing these stuff where these guys are riding these I'm like, how are you riding a motorcycle that like how? So you start reading comments and looking at shit, and I'm
What
like,
do you mean, like, out in, like, public streets?
yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
where are these dudes going 200 mile an hour out through a farm village? Like, this is fucking nuts. So you get reading comments and digging into it, and then it's like, oh, the Isle of Man. And like 60 Minutes actually did a whole write up about the Isle of Man TT
Oh, yeah?
years ago. Yeah, because it's a pretty deadly motorsporting event. I don't think NASCAR, none of that stuff has nothing
Well-
kills a rider every single event.
And I'm glad that you mentioned other sports because it's amazing that there's not some big outcry to fucking cancel it. You know what I mean? Because if it was NASCAR where consistently every year a young driver was killed or they were opening up to the fucking,
That was brought up on the
like-
60 Minutes special, and I can't remember what the whole thing went to that, but it's basically, it's an invitational. You have to be the best of the best to be riding in it.
well, and you can obviously decline.
You
You're
can
not
decline.
forced.
You don't have, yeah, no one's forcing
And
you.
I like that based on I think the way that you explained it and my understanding is that like even if I invited you, you still have to come out. I have to watch you on the course, and I still have to determine if what I saw in your skill is still able to be produced on this fucking course. You might still not be even able to do this.
From what I seen on the 60 Minutes presentation of it, they have a guy that you go out and ride with, and he determines if you can even be on that course, and there is people that don't make it.
Right.
And then there's guys like the one guy who have won it 4, 5, 6 times in a row and set records and everything, They
Right.
interviewed him on 60 Minutes, and they even said, like, when you set this record, how fast or what were you, and he's like, you don't look at the speedometer or anything. He's
Right.
like, all I can tell you, mate, is it's in top gear.
What
when
were
we
you thinking when you were doing 197 miles an hour?
I wasn't really thinking.
Don't die, don't die, don't die.
Yeah, that's what I was-
Like, what do you mean? I'm not even conscious at that point. I mean, it's all about feeling with stuff like that. It's like, man, you're in a whole different plane of existence at that speed.
I can't
know?
even imagine. I've only
Because
ever,
you know what it's like to go fast. What's the fastest you think you've ever traveled in any vehicle?
any vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a Ford Focus ST that might go 147 when I lifted.
I'm telling you, dude. Like, and that's probably faster than most people have gone. And like, like your vision, like they talk about tunnel vision, that's a real thing. Because you're literally looking at your whole existence through that pinhole.
Yeah, it was very
Everything
small.
is a blur.
Everything.
And I would say probably the fastest I've ever gone was probably with that fucker fat neck Billy
Billy.
Kuczynski in that fucking Cobalt. Like his first week having it. Like I said, we were on fucking lunch break. Like, hey, you want
Yeah.
to take a ride in my car? Yeah, sure. Having no idea.
That's
Dude, like,
comparable to my car, 200 and some
telling you, like,
horsepower turbo car, but he was way too young to have a car like that. Like,
People
we're
are like-
old men now.
People are like, well, how fast was he going? I'm like, you think I was looking at the speedometer? I didn't even want to acknowledge the number that was possibly right there. Like, I mean, I didn't want to know. I was
you
like,
didn't want
just
to
trying
know.
to fucking
Scared, right?
Right, like it was such a different, like I said, just plane of existence. Like I'm like, oh my god, all I can think about is how valuable my life is right now.
I only ever rode with him in that car one time,
Billy.
and I was.
But he kept us alive. He is a good driver.
He's a good driver. I only ever rode with him one time in that car. Thank God the day we rode. And I don't know if this is good or bad. Here's how I describe it. Some people will be like, "Oh my God." We got in that SS Cobalt. Them are supercharged,
That thing is
turbocharged, or whatever they are.
Beautiful, dude.
And the roads, it was pouring down rain. Roads were soaked. So thank God it wouldn't hook. It would only get to like 90, 100 mile an hour,
wow.
and it was spinning out going up the road at 100 mile an hour, and I'm just over there like, but it wouldn't hook to the road,
Right.
so that was kind of good.
No
like,
fucking grip.
but I heard rumors of him, like people said that the speedometer in that car went to 160, and they were like, it was buried.
Right.
It would be buried below 160.
See, so he probably was doing at least 120, 130. And like this was like he maybe had that car like 5 days. Like you don't even know this car, dude. You're taking me out on lunch at 120 mile an hour, and we were passing tractor trailers on the berm.
Yeah, he's crazy.
I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck are you? I mean, this is the fucking greatest time of my life, but at the same time, I hate you right now, dude. Like, I'll never forgive you, dude, because I'm, like I said, I take pride in like. I'm pretty fearless, but it's
Right.
different when you're not driving either. When you're in the passenger seat and somebody else is in control of your life, it's a little bit different.
The motorcycle thing is crazy. I don't know how. I can't even fathom what up over 200 mile an hour is like.
You're too-
300 and some kilometers. Like,
Too vulnerable.
and I see videos, like I follow this one guy that's on Instagram, and like he's way too comfortable on. He's from Florida. I won't go no further than that. But I see his videos are in Florida, and like he's real comfortable at 150 mile an hour in traffic on the streets, and I'm like on a bike.
But see, Florida has a lot of straight, flat roads.
It does.
Come to Pennsylvania and do
Yeah,
that shit.
no,
You'd
you're
be
dead.
airborne.
Yeah, you're dead. You're not doing that out on I-80 in Pennsylvania.
Hit a pothole.
Because that was the other thing. Like I seen the one video where he run into where like all the lanes are plugged up. You're on one of them 1000s. Like you just get on the berm, and as long as there's not a big flat truck tire laying there, you're all right. But
Or, I mean, I'm sure at speed, the smallest piece of debris would probably fucking hang you up. But, like, that's what we were talking about before. Like, I like that about bikes, that at least if quickly things get congested, because, like, I mean, it happens every fucking day. I have a heart attack. Again, most of the time I'm a passenger in a car now. But I fucking hate, dude, when, like, we're going at speed and, like, everybody around us is going well over the speed limit. We're doing the speed limit, and then all of a sudden it's jammed up, and people are fucking like, I'm like waiting to get a head-on collision or someone's gonna get ass ended. Like, people just jack on their brakes out of fucking nowhere, dude. So, like, at least on a bike, I have options.
You
Because
have
I know on a
options.
pedal bike, dude, like, I have a split second to decide if I'm gonna be in your back windshield or if I'm gonna be moving forward. Because, like, people will jack on their brakes with no disregard of who's behind them.
you,
And it's like, motherfucker, not only were you doing 10 over the speed limit and I had enough room, then you jack on your fucking brakes and, like, gave nobody a choice, you know, and what's happened. Like, it fucking gives me the most anxiety. It happened, you were driving. Well, he was driving today. It's the same thing. Like, we're fucking just getting out of the shop and we're just, you know, like I said, we're doing the speed limit and people are passing us.
people just
Cutting
need
us
to slow
off.
down. We were on our way in here, right? And I don't know you guys' town. And whenever you're in out of
Everybody's
town,
in a hurry everywhere
you
for
can
some
get
reason.
pulled over real easy too, because they're like, oh, like out of towners pick you out. And I'm like, I don't know what the speed limit is through here. We better just chill, right? And I feel like I'm flying, right? And I'm going like 35, 40. And I look up, I'm like, oh shit, speed limit's like 25. There's people going by me in the left lane, like, I don't know, 70.
Right, they're passing you like you're not moving.
I was like, holy shit, I guess we're just not worried about it at all. Like,
If it says 35, go 70.
okay.
It doesn't
Seriously.
make any
He's
sense,
right.
dude.
It makes no sense.
Well, then the
Especially-
funniest thing was, like, even though I'm not real familiar with here, I've been here before. I know enough about, like, St. Mary's and shit to get around. Like, I come down to the red light, and I'm like, there's the whole merry band of assholes that went flying around us. They don't even know where they're going
They
now.
got nowhere.
No, everybody got to the red light, and they're like, let me look at my phone, see which way do I turn. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bud? We just come down here and we go around. She keeps going this way. There's sheets, you see? Like,
Every fucking day, dude. It's like you're literally in a hurry to go nowhere, dude. Like, I love the fucking people that fly past us, and people are like really aggressive, will cut you off, and some people will fucking beep, get in front of you,
and then
and
stop.
then literally I'm like sitting at the same red light you are. Like, what the fuck was that all for? Like, you literally got nowhere. You see, I'm doing like 5 under the speed limit, and I'm not pissed at anybody, and we're in the same spot now. Like, I literally got here with no fucking trouble. You know, like, it makes no sense.
This is what me and her, we never got to talk about it in the last show. So when my wife and I went to New Orleans for our honeymoon, most laid back people, I wish everybody was Creole or everybody got to experience that. Go to fucking New Orleans and then take a chill pill, all right, America? Because, like, down there, right, we drove, like we were talking about, because I'm not flying, because that's scary. So we drove the whole fucking way to New Orleans. I did that shit in like 2 days in record time.
That's fucking awesome.
And we get down there and like we're driving around different places, and I'm like, one time like we come to the intersection, I'm like, where do we gotta go? We're looking at the phones, like we gotta go straight through. I'm like, oh shit, that light turned yellow. Like, fuck, I hope we don't get pulled over. And I look in the rearview mirror and I'm like, and the car behind us came, and the car behind him, and the car behind him, and like people are so fucking laid back down there.
Nobody's even worried.
You can walk out in front of somebody at a red light, and they're like, "Oh, my bad." And you're like, "No, it was like you had the fucking green light." And they're like, "Yeah, but it's still my fault, buddy. It's cool." We're talking to the guy who's trying to sell us a fucking timeshare. He's like, "Listen, we have drive up. What the hell did he call them? It's like a bar. You can pull up and you can order up to 3 cocktails per passenger in a fucking car. So if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of us in the car, we could get 10 cocktails into the car, served."
What?
He's like, everybody down here's fucking plastered. Please be careful wherever you guys are going.
Oh my God.
He's like, that's why you see carts with donkeys and shit. He's like, after you've been to Bourbon Street, just get in a cart. It's way safer.
Take me to the club.
Yeah, it was such a good time.
That's
I mean,
fucking
just
awesome.
people playing music out on the street, people drumming. Like you love the art of the whole
Any
thing.
bit of it, dude.
Any
Culture.
bit of it. Culture. You had people out there. We seen whole families. From the wife would be sitting there taking care of kids, kind of doing what she's doing on her phone or whatever. Husband's there with a couple kids, and like they got the whole family drumming on shit, and like they're playing 5-gallon buckets,
It's fucking
and it
sick,
sounds
dude.
like a fucking symphony.
Isn't
You're
that
like,
amazing,
how are
dude?
they doing this with nothing? You know what I mean?
Especially like my favorite thing is, dude, like you hear it faintly in the distance. Man, that sounds like some pretty good music, man. What is that? You get down
Yeah.
there, it sounds like good. Somebody's playing some good music, man.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder what they're playing, man. What, they got a fucking radio on, or got the fucking DJ going on? You get down there, and
They're
it's a fucking bunch of people sitting on the side of the street just playing
banging
music
on
with
a
whatever.
banging on a trash can.
It's like, dude, like there's actually a place in Cleveland that's like that, dude, and it's so weird because Cleveland, big city, all beautiful glass and lights, and just, I mean, you know, very modern, very clean. And there's like this one, it's like almost like an alleyway, and it's like all this culture, dude. And it's the same thing. Like you could walk through this, dude, and there's like people walking between shops and little, you know, bodegas and little fucking stores and restaurants and shit, and people outside playing music and people outside, you know, like doing different performances. It's like walking down the Hollywood Strip almost, where like people are like, you know, doing performance art, people are playing music, people are sitting there writing fucking, you know, poetry or some shit.
Yeah.
It's like, man, it's like you just walk through this little piece, dude. And it's like there's so much culture. It's almost like what you would imagine, like if you'd go to like, you know, some foreign country or something. You know what I mean? You go to fucking Italy, or you go somewhere, you know, where you see people out on the streets playing music or something. You know, you see just.
It's funny
know.
you said foreign country, because like that's the best way I could describe going to New Orleans. New Orleans is not New Orleans, Louisiana, America. New Orleans was, she'll might have to help me out here. New Orleans was foremost Native Americans, and then Spain,
Spain,
and then
France,
France,
and then America.
then America.
Really?
It was Spain, then France, then America.
Oh shit.
So yeah, like anything, we did a fancy little American thing and
Mixed it up
stole
to
it in a
African
convenient little
Americans.
thing called the Louisiana Purchase. Whatever year we pulled that off, we were like, we'll just buy it for 10 cents on the fucking acre, because
The
that's
American way.
That's the American way,
What
buddy.
do you like what you got? How much you want for it?
Yeah, and we stole that shit the whole way from New Orleans to like Alaska in the Louisiana Purchase, that whole big strip of the West Coast.
Right.
But it was so interesting to learn about. Like, we were in buildings down there. Like, when you get into shit that predates America, it really gave you an interesting feeling. Like, we went into a bar called John Latif's Blacksmith Shop, and it was built in what, 1773 or something to that effect. It was incredible. You had a very weird feeling about it. You're like, this bar that we're in right now is older than the United States of America. And that was just very, I don't know, it just very interesting feeling.
Well, it's like, especially because I'm sure myself, it's easy to do. America's all we know. It's easy to think that America was the beginning. We've had America the whole time.
Yep.
You know, because you think, oh, okay, well, the beginning of us was us coming over here, Columbus, and that whole shithole. So it's like, no, there was actually shit going on, you know. Before that, there was, you know, a lot of shit going on before there was a government and a Declaration of Independence and a Constitution. I mean, like, people actually survived and lived and worked and got along without, you know, probably laws and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't need a law telling me not to kill and fucking rape fucking people and stuff like that. That we just know that's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't do that to people.
It's so crazy you brought that up.
So I was looking it up. 1776 is when America was founded.
Yes.
You know,
yeah,
so
I
like,
could have told you that one.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I didn't want to interrupt you because you were talking about that place. So it's like, so this was a bar restaurant. So like they took an old blacksmith's place and turned it into
She might be better to tell you the history. What it was originally a blacksmith shop in the 1700s. New Orleans burnt completely to the ground twice, because bad fires used to happen back in those days. Like, we built
probably
everything
more
out
common
of
than
wood.
they are now, even.
Yeah, and when all the buildings were built out of wood, and then we lit stuff with natural gas lights.
Right. You figure even fucking I don't know if we were talking about, but like even like street lights. Somebody has to go around with a candle and
light
fucking
them.
light them.
Yes.
It used to be a flame. So it's like I
That
can
was
only
open
imagine.
flame. That was what it was in New Orleans that burned it down a few times. But when you had a blacksmith shop that was built out of brick,
and everything
because
in there
they
is
were
metal
kiln
and fucking cast.
Yep, it was all brick, and they had a
Wow.
kiln in there. for doing the blacksmith work, it survived the fire. But the interesting thing was, we learned through history, it was still always a pirate bar. There'd been a pirate bar since the late 1700s. They were stealing fucking merchandise off the Mississippi River, and they used that shop to pirate it out of there. Her and I looked at the bricks.
Real pirates.
You'll have to send her the pictures. I'll have my wife send her the pictures. You guys can put this in post-production.
Yeah.
So you can put it up. The bricks from 300 years of people walking in are fucking wore out. They're wore to a fucking groove. It's incredible to see the history down there.
Talk about something you'd never in a million years think about. You know what I mean? Just like actual wear of people walking across brick over centuries.
And then I'm telling you, when you're in that building and there's no electric lights except for in the bathroom, because I think by code they had to have a bathroom nowadays. But her and I were in that building, and when you're sitting in there and you're just, if you've ever been to New Orleans, you know, and if you have been, you know, and if you've never been, you're going to be like, man, I'm putting this on the list right now after listening to this guy. When you're down there and you're on your 4th or 5th hand grenade and you're really, really feeling the good drink and the good food, you're going to be like, man, it just feels different here. Like, her and I had this feeling when we were sitting in that bar, and the people were so nice that we run into. Everybody you meet's in a good mood and happy. And you're just like, I just sit here all night. And like, listen, it was just a cool experience.
Well, it's a different thing when you feel like environmentally welcome. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like you went back in time a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, because you feel like that's kind of how you at least imagine it used to be, maybe in the 40s and 50s. To where like, hey, man, like, you're sitting here, I'm sitting here. Like, let's make the best of each other's company. It's like, you know, we're all the same fucking people in the same situation. You know, I mean, granted, there's probably a lot of fucked up shit happening then, too, for a lot of other people.
Who knows?
But
New Orleans is crazy history.
But it's like, you know, to be able to experience that a little bit, you know, is kind of sick, because there's too much distraction from that kind of stuff. Like I said, to be in an environment where you're unplugged, you know, to be in a place like that, to where I said you're kind of absorbing, you know, that time period. You know what I mean? You're not distracted with all the bullshit.
That was one of the things down there. You want to have your phone right, and you want to take pictures and document your experience while you're there and stuff. And like, I even like to make videos. I just wish I had a better capacity to film, because a camera on the phone kind of trash and you don't have enough storage and blah blah blah. But you also want to like not get too like put this phone down and just take this in. You know what I mean?
Be in the moment.
Yes. Like her and I, we seen a guy who was out just playing saxophone on the street by himself. He had a saxophone hooked up to like a big Bluetooth speaker. He was just out in the middle of Bourbon Street just jamming to it. And I was like, that's so awesome. Like, I wanted to record him to remember it, but fuck that. I'd rather be here and in the moment, too.
See?
There's that fine line. Like, you know, you're not going to watch the video of the fucking fireworks. You're just not. That's stupid.
That's a great fucking analogy.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Please enjoy it. You see these people holding their fucking phones up, and they're trying to get and you're like, you're missing it.
Right.
You're literally missing it. But on the other hand,
like, you might be looking at it, but you're not really seeing it for what it is. You know what I mean? Like, and like you said, you're never gonna go back and fucking like, right. That was really impressive.
That's what I love about the girl I married. She's great at like getting pictures of like for example, she has a picture of that blacksmith shop and the sign. And she knew to get the sign when we were going in. You know
like kind of log the memory, like,
yeah.
hey, like we have this look back.
But we weren't in John Latif's blacksmith shop trying to shoot a fucking video. No. We were singing and carrying on, dancing up and down, drunk like everybody else. We were enjoying the fucking moment. Screaming at some couple from Michigan that was sitting across the table. You know what I mean?
That's the best shit, dude. And like,
oh, yeah, because, like, we were telling them, like, oh, we're on our honeymoon. It's our first time here. And this big dude's like, I come here every fucking year. This is the best place in the fucking world. Like, I'm like, all right. Like, you know, it was just, I don't know.
Well, and part of you is probably like, that might be me. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I'm going to start coming here every fucking year. You know, like.
If you brought that up to her right now, hey, babe, we're going to New Orleans tomorrow.
Well, even like, you know, like, hey, do it again next year. You know what I mean? Like, you start something like that, a tradition. You know, it's like, you know, you kind of got to embrace those kind of things where it's like, you know, not enough people now are even concerned with their future enough to, like, think about maybe stuff that they want to maybe make a routine or make a tradition. It's like, you know, what are you thinking about? You know, it's
you should be thinking of that.
You're just going to fucking fizzle out and nobody will remember you. You know, it's like, man, like, make stories, you know, create memories, and like with
One of the best things I like hearing, right, is something to the effect, and I don't want to steal somebody's coined phrase, but I think I seen it on Facebook, so I don't think it fucking matters. Is like, would you want to watch a movie where like the main character gets up every day and like scrolls on his phone and then like jacks off to porn and does not like, you know what or do you want to like go out there and do main character shit is what I'm saying. Like if you want to watch a movie about a fucking good main character, go out there and do like I go out there and do crazy shit on motorcycles that people are probably like, that's illegal and that dude's fucking crazy. But listen, at least I'm having some little bit of enjoyment in my life or whatever.
well, and you
like,
feel alive. You're not, you know, because like that whole, you know, whatever, you know, screen you're looking at, it's all just sucking you from, you know,
Right.
the outside fucking experience. You know,
Even like today, dude, I was delivering fucking Amazon packages, was just something I never thought I'd do, right? But I'm just like, the shit that I don't see in my own town, who the fuck would have thought this was here? Someone lives here?
right?
You know what I mean? It was crazy.
Oh, and what I like, because like again, there's so many situations where you have to like swallow your pride. Maybe 6 months ago, you'd be like, ah, fuck, I'm never gonna be, you know, I would never fucking work at Walmart because I know I said shit like that. Like, ah, I'm a tattoo artist, I would never fucking work at Walmart. But then there was times where like I was so sick of tattooing, I fucking quit tattooing, and I ended up working at Walmart, and it actually gave me a different perspective. It's like actually this fucking job actually kicks ass. And it gives me a little bit more appreciation for the people that I walk in there and fucking see every day while I'm doing my shopping. So like the next time you see somebody delivering an Amazon package, and you know you might be a little bit
It
fucking
gives
pissed
you
off and say, ah, fuck that piece of shit delivery guy. Like, wait, that was me once. You know what I
It
mean? Like
gives
I did
you a
that
way
once.
different. I'm telling you, if you get anything delivered to your fucking doorstep, I have a whole different perspective today. I had to work, and like I'm feel myself as like an animal lover by nature. But like when you get out of a car that's not yours, that you're just using to do a job, so you're unfamiliar with the car, and it's like a loud
Throwing
piece
shit
of
in it.
crap, right? And I'm like rooting through this shit, trying to figure out what to do. I'm like, okay, I need package number 59. I'm at 59. I'm like, gotta scan this shit on my phone, right? And I turn around, and there's your fucking 300-pound dog, and I'm like, hi, don't kill me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I try to pride myself as an animal person, so I'm like the dog whisperer anyways, and this dog's like, hi, buddy, I'll lead you to the porch, you know what I mean? He led me to the porch, like, he was totally fine, but, like, that could have went a different way.
Sure caught you off guard. You weren't ready for it, huh?
No, dude, I could have got fucked up probably pretty bad. I'm like in sweatpants and, you know what I mean, not ready to fight a 300-pound dog. I don't know if it was 300 pounds, but a big fucking dog.
But see, before that day, you as the dog owner, you'd be like, what are you worried about? You know what I mean? Like, no, listen, I get it now. He startled you. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might be a dog lover and a dog person, but I get it. I'm not gonna let my fucking dog catch you off guard like that.
Right.
You know, like, because like I said, when you're not expecting to turn around and something's there, especially when it's a fucking big-headed fucking animal.
Well, like the guy who was training me and stuff, he said people will say all kinds of stuff. He said I was delivering packages one night and I got late. You know what I mean? It was like around the holidays, Christmas time. Some guy said something to him like, "Don't you think it's a good way to get shot or something?" You know, like I told my wife, I'm like, well, I guess if I get shot delivering packages, you can tell these people maybe they shouldn't buy so much shit online. Listen,
telling you,
don't
dude.
order shit online if you're gonna get mad and then threaten people with guns. That's all I'm
Well,
gonna
it's
say.
So you mean to tell me you're a little iffy about strangers coming to your house? So why would you fucking purchase a product and then have a stranger bring it to your house? Like, maybe you should convince somebody you know and trust to work for Amazon. You know, because I don't fucking know what to do. Because
Well, here's the funny thing too. I got lost only one time today. Not lost. I wasn't lost. It took me to an address that wasn't like the address, right? And I really think these people might have thought I was like a bad person or a
Fucking people.
predator or something, right? And I'm like, oh no. I was like, listen, the guy delivering packages in your town was born in your town. Like, I know what house you're talking about. I just didn't know that. Like, what it brought me here. Here, you want to look at the phone? And they're like, oh, okay, like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to do anything to you here. I just want to give you your shit. If not, don't order anything. They have it at Walmart, probably. The craziest thing is delivering people's toilet paper. That one bothers me. Takes up a ton of space in the van. Why the fuck can't you just grab your own toilet paper in your store? We do. No, we
Wait.
don't. We get it.
I ordered from Amazon.
You don't even know you're
She's
getting
an
fucking...
asshole. I'm riding. This is why there was no room for motorcycle parts in the van.
Oh
Her.
my God. That's funny. That actually makes me think. Fucking my mom and dad. They ran the quail farm for a while.
Okay.
Well, Roger Wolf and his wife Barb had a similar situation. They were the original owners of Quail Hill, but he gets the Finger Hut magazine, religiously
How
every
do I
month.
know that magazine?
Finger
What-
Hut, you know what I mean? It's like, decor, home decor,
That's
bullshit,
it. Okay, yep.
So it's like Good Housekeeping, So, but it's expensive as fuck, super expensive, And fucking, he was out on the porch one day and he's like, I don't know why the fuck we get these magazines. I've never once ordered anything from Finger Hut. And we're all looking like, motherfucker, your whole house is
It's
Finger
Finger
Hut.
Hut.
Your fucking wife she's ordering 6 things a week. Are you kidding me? Look at your fucking house could be on the cover. Like every fucking thing in your house is from Finger Hut. And he calls it Finger Putt. Yeah.
Doesn't even
I never
know.
once got anything from Finger Putt. Like, motherfucker, you're the fucking poster child for Finger Putt. You don't even know it.
Don't even know it. But
Fucking chair you're sitting on's on the fucking cover.
I think that's a lot of American people.
Yeah, the wife's
I
just at
swear to-
home, fucking blah, 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 like that.
I
Like that,
think that's
like that.
more American
Yeah,
families than you would know.
Especially when you got disposable income, the point where, well, like when you're retired and you just got, money coming in, you're not, fuck it, we'll fucking order it. Like I said, like, fuck, she's got toilet paper coming from Target, she got fucking things coming from, they never have to
Some
leave the
people
house.
I don't even think know what they got. I was putting packages on a house today. I even said to my buddy, I'm like, listen, do you ever get like sketched out, dropping shit off at people's houses? He looked at me kind of strange. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, listen, dude.
This lady's
I
ordered
dropped
4
this
vibrators
package
week.
off at this house today, and the mailbox was overflowing. There was like 6 more. You hear about this shit all the time. I'm just saying, I'm not finding her in there. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? The
think she's in there
mailbox is
dead?
well, like nobody's gotten all these damn packages. You know what I mean? You're probably reporting us for not delivering on time. If you come look at the porch, there's 7 of them. I don't know what to say.
Here's my thought. Here's what I think's happening. Because sometimes I order a lot of stuff, and it's not just to feed my own ego.
Right.
A lot of times it's tattoo supplies and things like that. Most of the time I can order, shit every other day, for the tattoo shop. So sometimes by default it will, I want to say subscribe, or it will enroll me in automatic ordering. So it'll say like, hey, 7 round liners, you've ordered this 4 times this year. You've ordered this 4 times in the last 3 months.
Okay.
Would you like to enroll in automatic blah, 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 so you don't have to remember to order it? It's something you buy frequently.
Right, like dog food or any consumable. Right.
And normally I catch it if I'm sitting with a clear head and I can catch it. I'll turn it off because it by default selects it sometimes if
For
it's
itself.
an item again, because they know most
Algorithms
of the time you're not looking.
and shit. Hey,
So it could be something like that, because there'll be times where I'm like, what the fuck? I got a package coming. I didn't order anything. Oh, it's 7 round liners. I do need them, but I didn't order them. It's because it by default set him to order them like once a month. Because again, that AI, that algorithm knows, oh shit, he orders those every month or every other month.
It just
So
knows
it
to
puts
get
me
them
on a
done.
fucking schedule, which again, I'm not really mad about it, because sometimes I do forget to order them. I'm like, shit, I got 3 left, and I gotta wait a week now to order them. And now I got to push people back because I don't have the right shit to do their tattoo. So sometimes it's nice. But I would imagine, and depending on what it is, like if it's toilet paper or if it's something stupid, a commodity item where you use a lot of it, paper towels, it might have just automatically enrolled them in automatic. They could be dead. They could be on fucking vacation. They could be anywhere. And
Right.
It's just, like it's just,
Yeah,
I mean,
shit's just piling up on their porch.
not to,
The cool thing is, I love it and I hate it that like technology, like I got to scan the package, drop it on your porch, and then I snag a picture if no one's there.
a picture of it to show that it's on the
Right, which is a pain in the ass, but on the same sense, it's cool because I know you got your shit.
You're
If-
verified.
And if some asshole would happen to steal it from you, you as the customer are just gonna say, "Hey, the Amazon dude dropped it. He sent the picture. It was here. I was at work. Someone stole it."
Wow.
And they're gonna take care of
And
you.
not only that, is it protects you from the most common situation where people just flat out are lying. Because
Say they never got it.
Because it's so easy
Okay.
to just say that, hey, man, I
Okay.
didn't fucking get that. Refund. In most cases, Amazon will
Why do-
automatically refund you until it's sorted out. But now with the photo verification, they pretty much eliminated that. You can't really lie about it now.
So we're going to shift to what her and I were just talking about on the way up here, because it's so funny that you brought up that topping point. Why is it that nowadays some shit, like her and I were talking about this on the way up, it wouldn't even register to people to do the wrong thing. Like we were talking about laws, quote unquote laws, on the way up here. And it's like, I don't think we need to make a law about that. We need a cultural shift.
Right.
Like, what would possess a person to order something online, have it literally brought to you, brought to your freaking doorstep? You never had to leave. You didn't have to go to the store and get it. Nothing. It was just handed to you. And then you're going to lie and say you never got it just to get a that shit would never even cross my mind. It's as bad as the teenagers like in our generation who went to school with a gun. I don't know if I can say gun on YouTube. I'll probably get us fucked up. You might have to edit that. You had a firearm in your vehicle. You would have never even thought to go. It didn't even cross your fucking mind. I'm going to go in and shoot the school up. No. That wasn't even no, that's in my truck because me and Ren are going to go shoot deer when we get off work. Don't you know? Aren't you coming?
Right.
You're not coming. Like,
well, and like you said, it's almost like, are we naive or are we just good people? Maybe we just, that kind of stuff doesn't cross your mind 9 times out of 10, but it's like that small percentage of people that's all they think about.
Is how to swindle somebody, hurt somebody,
Right.
steal
you
something.
You find that little gap to where you can find, a way to take advantage or manipulate or, and it's just like this shit with the technology gets better and better every day. I get these almost fucking daily. Okay, listen, I haven't left the state. I haven't drove on a fucking toll road in probably over a year, haven't fucking been on a toll road.
And you've been getting the things from the Pennsylvania Turnpike?
Almost every other day, dude.
It's a complete scam. Yep.
It's like, damn well that some people are like, oh shit, I gotta fucking pay that. My driver's license is gonna get expired. Like, listen, I know my aunt is the kind of person who acts first and thinks later. Yep. So she's very, very easy to manipulate. She's very gullible. Her fucking light could burn out, and her first thought is that it must be the wiring. The whole house is going to need to be rewired. I got to call an electrician before she would think that it was the bulb.
Okay.
So she goes, to the deep end before even considering any realistic possibilities. And some people, she would see something like that and fucking panic. Oh my God, I don't remember being on the turnpike, but maybe I was. Maybe somebody.
Well, or if you're like me and her, I get this message about that, and I'm like, damn. It's been so long ago. I said, did we get anything from when we went to West Virginia to the Hatfield and McCoy trails? Did you get anything from that? Oh fuck! She says, I don't know. I don't remember.
Right.
Then I'm thinking. Then I get thinking even deeper. I'm like, did we go down the Yeah, we went down the turnpike. Wait a minute. I borrowed that trailer. That's not even my license plate. Fuck them. That's not my shit. They can't do it. I called my cousin, to reiterate, was my family member. I didn't steal anything because we are on the internet. I called my cousin. I'm like, Brad, did you ever get anything about us going down there to West Virginia? Oh, I don't know. My wife pays all that shit. Fuck them, he said. So we weren't even worried about it. Well, we never use the turnpike, and it's just a scam to get. Another one they use is an electric bill. Yeah. How many people are going to panic about their electric bill?
I mean, most people, like I said, are so worried about the consequence that they'll just comply before thinking, and it's, it's obviously that's the small niche of, people that they're playing into, and that's why, like, anything that fucking, allows you to scam the elderly. I mean, like when I was working in home health, I got, people very aware of it very quick. Like, these were getting calls, people claiming that they were Social Security and they needed their Social Security number and they needed to verify information. I'm like, listen, the Social Security office would never fucking call you and fucking ask you for your Social Security number. How about the Social Security office would probably know your fucking Social Security number? So it's like, I mean, there's people that just, again, people would never lie about that. Who would pretend to be the Social Security office? That's crazy. Who would ever do something like that? And it's like, man, well,
you'd be surprised.
They're playing you like a fucking fiddle, because, like, again, they're playing on the fact that you wouldn't think that anybody would go so far to do something like that. But, like, I mean, again, luckily we're smart enough to, like, I can check my fucking balances real quick. I'm like, wow, I haven't been on the turnpike in over a fucking year. I know that's bullshit.
Right.
But sometimes all it takes is just opening something up. You know what I mean? Like if I just quickly fucking just,
Well,
what is this?
The other thing is we're in our late 30s. Is that going to be, are we going to be able to boast that when we're in our 70s? Or am I going to go, honey, were we on the turn? You know what I mean? Because that's what they're doing. They're preying on people who may or may not have the fucking cognitive ability to just go, oh man, fuck that shit. I know better than that. I wasn't there. What the fuck you mean?
Well, and that's why with the technology and it being so accessible, like it doesn't, take a fucking genius, because I'm not, to think about how quick I could fucking figure that system out. Like, okay, well, if I just got to figure out a way to access a bunch of phone numbers at random, all I got to do is just send in that mass text at random. All I got to get is one person to bite for me to fucking deem that'd be successful. I mean, how hard is it for me to mass bot text?
Yeah,
a fucking million
and any
fucking
free
numbers?
money is free. If you can get one idiot to send you whatever it would be,
right, then it's working.
then you're making money.
So it's like if that's my fucking task all day is to fucking jerk off and fucking send fucking messages all day and just hope somebody bites, it's like it's so quick and easy.
Well,
like
they said they do this one now too, where they'll find somebody, they look at the ages, they look you up online, find out your ages. It's really common if you're in your 20s, I guess. Then they call your grandparents and they say that you've gotten in a little bit of trouble. And you're in jail, and you just need like 500 to bond out, or like 1,000 to bond. It's nothing. You know what I mean? This is Brian with such and such bail's bond. You know your Rhett's in a little bit of trouble here. He's gonna be in the county jail for just like one night. But if you send me that 500, I got him out right now. He's standing here with me.
I know.
And they're gonna fucking send that money. And you're like,
my grandma,
Mom, Grandma, I'm in class. What are you talking about? I'm literally in fucking class right now. I was at school.
I'm telling you, dude.
Like, they're scamming these people,
I know you listen to enough Rogan to fucking to know that they've talked about kind of the origins of that Persian prince or whatever the fuck that is. That whatever, because that's the oldest scam in the book. Is that I'm a prince and I've been wrongfully accused and imprisoned, and if you can help me with a little bit of money now, I can get out and have access to my fortune, and I'll send you all this money. That used to be the oldest scam in the book, fucking before even email was invented. They would just send letters to random houses and try to trap old women into helping this fucking wrongfully accused prince.
Oh God!
Dude,
why don't I know about this? But I don't.
So I mean, like that literally is the exact same scam that you just described. Yeah. It's just modernized. Now. It's like motherfuckers have been using that same fucking algorithm, because that's all that is. Hey, listen, if you tell them this and this and this,
it'll work. They'll send the money, pull on their heartstrings, play their family against them.
And it might not work on 99 people, but on the 100th person, you're going to get $5,000, and then you just start over. Another 99? You know what I mean? It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, again, when you have access to being able to reach, I mean, not only millions and millions of people's data, phone numbers, email addresses, social security numbers, driver's license numbers, I mean, oh my God.
You can really dig.
If I really, I would think, really, if I wanted to be a nefarious subject, I mean, I would just maybe go apply at the DMV. There can't be very many people dying for that job.
Well, that's even a state job where you might got to be vetted. Ooh. So let me throw this at you, because somebody in my family for a long time just worked in waste management. Everybody throws their fucking garbage away.
Right.
So she knew.
You fucking cat. I fucking hate you.
She knew where everybody lived and if you paid your bill or not. You'd just be out there talking to her some night at random. I ain't going to say who it is, but very, very close family member. And she'd be like, oh, so-and-so. Oh, I know where he lives. And he doesn't. Tell him if you see him, he's behind on his bill. She knew where everybody was because she did the book work for a garbage company.
How weird.
So think about it. You're going to have your address down to a T because you want that fucking trash picked up at the end of the driveway every week. So she'd have, you know what I mean? Have billing information down, address, name. Well, yeah, man, she knew who everybody was. I'd be like, do you know this person? Oh, yeah, she knew where they lived and
Well, and it's funny how people have gotten less and less careful too, with it being so much easier now to manipulate and scam people, because I remember in my grandma's day when things like the paper shredder were invented, and it was like, oh my God, well, you don't throw anything away that has your name on it or your address or your account number.
We shredded all that. Now people don't even care. They throw it out the window of their car.
Dude, I'll throw something away that I haven't even opened yet. I I don't know
We
what's
do
in
it.
there.
We do it too.
It could be my
a check.
fucking yeah,
$1 million.
It could be my social security number. It could be anything. It could be any information. You know, and it's like, man.
Account numbers is a good one. You throw away that bank statement you think you
It's
don't
like-
fucking need, man. You just gave them their account numbers and everything, you know.
That's why,
routing number.
with all of my overwhelming debt and all of the things that I don't pay, I just blame it on whoever stole my identity. You know, because I've just been carelessly throwing my account information
Steal
away.
mine. You just became a fucking convicted felon with a whole bunch of debt and a bunch of fucking have fun, buddy. There's some people who are like, do you ever worry that your vehicle's gonna get stolen? I'm like, do you know how much fucking trouble they're in? Not for stealing the vehicle, for the fucking vehicle.
That's so
How are you
fucking
gonna
funny.
explain all the unregistered fucking firearms and all the fucking bullshit? And they're like, you're fucked. Steal my shit, idiot. This is like you just fucking grabbed yourself 15 felonies, like fucking by default.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Create a bait car. You'll
Dummy.
never have to worry about Grand Theft Auto.
Right. So at least your worries.
Like, yeah, go ahead and steal it. There's an underage hooker and a fucking half ball of fucking crack in the fucking back seat, man. You can have it, actually.
That glove
All
box.
kinds of evidence in there that I don't want tied to my name.
That Epstein client list is in the
It's
fucking
in the
glove box.
That's right.
Oh, excuse me, officer. I thought that was my registration. Sorry, I just confessed to a bunch of crimes.
Like, whose truck did I steal again? Fuck. That was the biggest mistake of my life.
That's fucking awesome.
Here's a list of all the
Speaking of which, does anybody know, do you know why Pennsylvania doesn't have a Grand Theft Auto charge? Why it's like a theft by deception or things like that?
Don't know nothing about it. I'm not into stealing people's shit.
Well, it's like, it just always dawned on me, like is it just different fucking wording for the the legislation? Because there is actually no theft, Grand Theft
No,
Auto,
there isn't.
you know what I mean? Like, which
she
is
would
weird.
know. She
Because
would know.
anything with a motor in most states is Grand Theft Auto, which is a completely different charge. It's an automatic felony. It's a fucking whole different thing when we're talking Grand Theft Auto, as opposed to like theft over 1,000. I don't know what that would be considered
Right.
in Pennsylvania. Or like, what do they call theft? You know, of a vehicle? Is it like just
Theft of a motor
Theft by
vehicle?
deception. Well, no, not
Right.
Theft of,
See, I thought
theft
theft by
unlawful
deception too.
taking.
Yeah, unlawful
Or,
taking.
Which is
right.
just a misdemeanor, right?
Isn't
It can
all
be.
theft by unlawful taking? Isn't theft by definition unlawful taking? That's a whole bunch of words that are unnecessary. That's a George Carlin bit, right?
Yup.
And then if
Yup.
you get it after it's been stolen, it's receiving stolen property,
Yeah.
See, that one I don't care for.
right?
How the fuck do
If
I know if it's
show-
stolen?
That's the thing, right? Everybody has had a different experience in one way or another, even down to the blue collar guy.
That's a
I
honey
have
trap.
been standing at a shop before when a guy pulled in a van that looked like he was there to deliver Amazon packages, and he whipped open a door and he's like, buddy, I got brand new this, brand new that, brand new this, brand new that, man, cash only, blah, 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 man, half price. And you're like, well, where the fuck did you steal all that from?
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? You're not the Snap-on guy, bro. This shit's stolen.
Right, and everything's brand new.
Right. So, nowadays, though, there is such a thing as pallet auctions and insurance auctions and all that shit. So people do get shit, but, 10 years ago, you kind of knew if it was stolen or not.
Right.
And, I seen that. Like, guys pull up, like, hey, man, let me sell you this and this. And
Yeah, it's like, what, a Snap-on truck crash in front of your fucking house? Did you
Right.
just offloaded some good? Like, yeah, it always made me fucking a little bit suspicious. But it was the same thing with bikes, too. It was like, I've always been riding BMX, so it's like, man, anytime I'm buying a bike off of somebody, like, I've never fucking bought brand new fucking bikes. It's always been secondhand. It's like, man, like, you have no idea where this thing came from.
Well,
you know?
anything on two wheels is the most, stolen thing there is. Motorized or non. Pedal bikes, mountain bikes, any fucking bike, you can Google that, is, the most stolen thing there is.
It's because your fucking product's also the getaway vehicle.
Alright.
I can drive what I'm stealing, so it's a lot easier. I don't have to have a getaway vehicle to put it in.
Right.
Yeah, it's like,
Right.
so like bikes and stuff, but even bikes, people don't realize bikes have serial numbers. Every single fucking bike ever made has a stamped serial number, and you can actually, it's not advertised, which it should fucking be, and I told the same thing to Armstrong County Police, you should advertise, if you own a bicycle, we're talking bicycles, no motor, you can take it down to the police station and register your bike with the
Alright.
police.
Alright.
And that way, if I would have my bike stolen because my bike sits right now at fucking $3,000 fucking value with all the shit that's on it. You know, and it took me 10 years to fucking, well, not 10 years. I mean, some of them parts, though, I've had for fucking close to a decade, though. Yeah, they're expensive
to build
shit.
it, right?
Frame's new. But, like, so, I mean, like, with the value of that sitting there, and, like, I'll park it to go in and get a drink and something like that at Sheets, dude.
Yeah.
Like, in 2 seconds,
It
I
could be
fucking think it'd
gone.
be gone.
Yep.
So it's like you can actually register that with the police, the local police, and that way, if it would turn up, they can check that. I can tell you, because each bike has a serial number in a different place. Sometimes
That's
it's on the dropout, sometimes it's on the bottom bracket. But either way, you can register that number, and now I can say, fuck you, that's my bike. You know, so, like, that's the thing. Most people don't know that they have a serial number to even be able to scratch it off, because, again, once you do that with a gun or something like that, there's
then it's real red flag, though, too. Then it's known to be stolen or fucked with, too.
But the whole receiving stolen property thing doesn't make any sense. How does the zoo get away with that? They don't own any of those animals. They stole them all from the fucking wild. And now I'm receiving them. Visually.
I mean, that's the ones that are born in captivity is the only argument I could make there. But...
I seen a meme about that. Like, how are you going to charge me for something that ain't even yours?
Right.
The fucking zoo.
Right. It is true.
Try to weave it in.
It is true.
And
but what you brought up about the bikes being registered, I wanted to touch on one more thing, because you're a pedal bike guy, but you ride BMX and ride on the streets, and people hate you, people are mean, people throw shit. You'd think, though,
my
that,
passion is vandalizing and destroying public property.
Plus, I love that you have that leather vest on, by the way. But you'd think that, like, the motorcycle people like me who ride, like, street bikes and people, like, on 2 wheels of any kind, pedal bike, whatever, would be, like, natural allies, right?
Mutual respect.
Let me tell you this. If you're here to ride your fucking mountain bike professionally up the road in a fucking pair of high vision spandex, fuck you. Fuck you. I thought these people would be like, I fucking waved to you for the first 3 years that I rode a motorcycle. Seen these fuckers out there, these 10-speed fucking tyrants out on the fucking main roads.
Coining that fucking
these
phrase.
fuckers, and they don't has no inspection sticker, no fucking license plates, no registration, no proof of insurance. You're just out there in fucking yellow spandex, and then you flip me off for what the fuck did I do? This thing has registration, insurance, inspection. Fucking I had to pay $14,000 for the fucking thing. You're riding a mountain bike. Go ride it in the mountains, motherfucker. Like, I'm on the paved road. I'm allowed to be on it. I gave you space. You're still flipping me off. I was in Cook Forest one night. We went down to River Road. Big group of us. Old head group. So it's supposed to be a chill ride, right? So I'm like with some of the most respectful guys I know. They see these, whatever they are, 10-speed fucking tyrants. They go over in the other lane. They're giving them all this space. They're slowing down, right? The dude looks like the second guy. He's like, takes both hands off as he's pedaling. Covers his ears. I just let this fucking thing beat off the rev limiter the whole way. Fuck you. Dude, we didn't do nothing. There's no need for like, if it's that loud, I don't know what to then go ride in the woods on your pedal bike. Like, you're on the road. I don't understand what we're doing wrong. It's just, I thought we were allies. We're not.
All right.
But maybe BMX people are.
There's a lot to break down in that.
Yeah.
So, what you're talking about is a completely different biking community
I know.
than I associate with, obviously.
I know. I know.
The Lance Armstrong motherfuckers, they should have a closed course. I mean, those guys are all riding on a similar course to what we're talking about, like Isle of Man. I mean, like, that's all road course, da-da-da-da.
You also don't ride your bike down the fucking main street.
Yes,
dude.
I do, though. I do. I'll cruise the yellow lines, the white lines. I mean, like, but the thing is, though, is the world is not adapted for a pedal bike, and I know that, and, like, I'm in the wrong place, wrong time all the time. I'm never really in the right. I mean, like, and I know that, and, like, I know when I'm out, I'm in everybody else's way, essentially, because, like, none of that is tailored to what I'm doing.
You probably rode the way we rode as kids. Like, you feel like I'm doing something wrong.
I can't break out of being reckless, though, especially, like, and that's where, like, I mean, there's 2 different ways that I ride, too. Very respectful and very disrespectful. There's 2 different ways to be, obviously, in any situation. So, like, with what you're talking about, these people in the city, different environment, there's usually a bike lane, there's a delegated fucking space, which, again, I'm a cyclist and I don't care. I've been on both sides. I know when I'm in the wrong, which is 99.9% of the time. I know I'm in the wrong on my pedal bike because I'm not fucking suited to be on the road with motor vehicles. However, when you are, and this is in every state as far as I know, if you're on a pedal bike or a fucking scooter or a moped, Segway, if you're on the road, you have to abide by every single traffic law the exact same way as if you're in a car. You have to stop at stop signs. You have to hand signal your fucking turns.
Yeah.
You have to, and if you don't, you're just as liable as somebody in a car that's not following the law. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that goes without saying too. That like when you're on a bike on the road, or if you're on anything that's on the road, you have to abide by those same traffic laws. You have to merge.
Right.
You have to signal merging. You have to be respectful of other people's space, especially because again, you're in the wrong.
Right.
Unless there's a bike lane.
And my thing is, like, too, my experiences, I guess, why I have such a salty taste in my mouth. Like, I'm a little bit an outlaw. Like, we're all kind of doing shit. But have some mutual respect. Like, when I wave to you going down the road, I don't need the finger back from you. I'll turn around and run you over.
Wow.
Fucking Lance Armstrong, what are you doing?
See, you're scorned. You've been wronged. You opened up yourself to them and shared the space. That's why you're so fucked off. I get it.
Right.
They fucking...
Because, like, dude, I see Amish dudes, like, there's Amish guys that ride bikes. Love them guys. Like, if you're them Amish dudes, they see you coming on a motorcycle and they're like...
Oh, they're probably dreaming. They're probably coming in their pants right now. Oh,
oh, they can't. They're like little kids. They're like
Mortimer. But
waving and shit.
I'm telling you, they probably go home and fuck their wives to that fucking image of you riding your motorcycle into the sunset. But
now I'm fucked. I don't even know what I can do with that now. Some things you can't unhear, Rhett.
Listen, I'm glad that you brought up the Amish because they're one of my favorite people. Because again, we're talking about people who are kind of living in the past, kind of not adhering to modern bullshit. Have respect for the road, because I know I've been on the side where I was a young asshole and revved up my fucking motor when I was driving past them to try to scare the horses. I want to see a fucking thing take off and see them whipped around. I mean, we would all love to see it. But at the same time, it's like, listen, man, it's so easy. I'm not that big of a hurry. If there's somebody on an Amish buggy on a horse on the road, someone riding a bike, I can fucking slow it down, go around it. Probably had about 4 or 5. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not that fucking, stressed out about anything anymore. But going back to the bike thing and sharing the road thing, it's like, my problem is if I have headphones in, nothing exists. So most of these cases, like if you're on a bike and you don't have headphones in and you're aware of the situation around you, you're fearful of the people on the side of the road, whether it's a motorcycle or a fucking car or anything. Like, I don't want to be anywhere near it. But if I have headphones in, dude, like I have been hit by 6 cars in my life, all on pedal bikes. And it's because I'm tuned out. I'm not even thinking about what's coming behind me, beside me. My peripherals are completely fucking blinded at that point. So, like, I would wonder if maybe they would just make it a law to where, like, cyclists, if you're going to be on the road, you can't have headphones in. You can't, I mean, you have to be so fucking focused and conscious and aware of your space.
This
and
is
everyone around
so
you.
interesting that you've brought this up.
Well, I just know how tuned out I am when I'm riding, and I know that if I'm going to ride and be serious about my riding, I have to have headphones in because I'm so fucking terrified about the world around me and cars and vehicles and people and pedestrians and public space. Now, granted, there's just some people who have no disregard, but in most cases, like, you're fearful for your own life because even if you hit me on a motorcycle and I'm on a pedal bike, you're fucking me up. That bike's pretty heavy.
Yeah.
Lots of that parts of it are hot and fucking burning. Like, I mean, you're gonna fucking hurt me if you hit me on a motorcycle, even going low.
I've seen a lot of videos of guys hitting other guys. It happens in New York City all the time between couriers, believe it or not. You'll get the dude.
So I would think it goes
bike.
back to just being distracted and just being aware of your vehicle that you're in, whether it's a bicycle or a car. Like, I mean, if you have the radio up too loud and you're fucking singing Taylor Swift and you fucking mow down 4 fucking bicyclists, you're at fault because you're so out of whack of what you're doing. You're not paying attention to the people around you.
Right.
You're at fault. It's the same thing with a bicycle. Everybody just has to have mutual respect and know that, like, hey, my vehicle has the possibility to either cause harm, not maybe by physical harm and me crashing my bike into you, but maybe you avoided trying to hit me and killed yourself or somebody else in the process. So, like, I might cause an accident. I might ride away fucking fine on my fucking unicycle, but you're over there in a smoldering, burning, flaming fucking pile of shit because you tried not to kill me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like everybody has to be aware of your position in the fucking world and the power that you possess, whether it's, like I said, like everybody's responsible for your space and your actions, whether it's like the butterfly effect of, like I said, if I caused you to swerve and you caused somebody else to wreck, I mean, you just have to be so aware, because again, and I will say too, fuck the laws, because if there's not a bike lane, there's nowhere for you to ride in town. And I fucking mean it. I dare you to look around. If you're in a town that doesn't have bike lanes, look and see if there's signs that say no bikes on sidewalk. Because this is something I actually brought up to local police where my other tattoo shop was, is that all around town, signs everywhere saying no bicycles on sidewalk,
Yeah.
no riding your bike in a parking lot, But
Stupid.
that forces me to ride on the road where there's not a bike lane.
Right.
And now I'm interfering with the flow of traffic and putting myself and other people in danger.
Well, something we should advocate for too, since we have this little platform to do it, is like, whether you're on a motorized bike or a pedal bike, or just trying to get out of the way. Like, I never seen anybody on a bike holding anybody up. People get so mad. Like the one night I went up to Loves to get gas, or I had to pee really bad, and I pulled in on the bike. And, like, they were pressure washing the parking lot, which I don't know why you guys need to do that every fucking week, by the way. You're wasting water. But anyway.
California needs that water.
They were pressure washing the fucking parking lot. And I'm like, pulling around, like, where to park? Like, oh, man, there's, like, 45 handicap parking spots. Can't park there. Like, there's a guy with a camper. There's nowhere to park. I get down to the end by the trash compactor, and there's, like, a fucking plastic ramp on the curb to go down to, like, the dumpster, the trash compactor, right? I just like, whoop, rode right up that little fucking plastic ramp and parked right on the end of the sidewalk. I'm fucking completely out of the way. My bike's not going to get hit by any cars.
VIP parking.
I'm like, and I'm still like way far away from the door, right? So I go trucking into the bathroom, come back out, go to get the bike on the curb. The dude that's over there pressure washing the thing's like, how'd you get that bike up there? I'm like, I rode it up the thing. Why'd you do that? I'm like, because I didn't know where to park it. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? He had one more question for me, and I was like, because I had to pee. I think it was like, why did I come there? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
why are you here,
right,
sir?
dude. Sorry I was born, bro. Was this thing bothering you that bad?
Thank you for your patronage. Did you buy anything?
No.
Nah, you fucking asshole. You piece
Well,
of shit.
I do buy shit there every single day before work.
Oh, okay, I guess you're all right today then.
Right.
One day is fine, but don't fucking let it happen again. Dude, that's hilarious. A plastic ramp, though? Were you a little bit worried that it wasn't going to hold your bike?
Not at all.
What's your bike weigh?
I think it's like 400 and something.
400 pounds, really, that's it.
Honda.
Again,
Light.
at speed, like I said, take 400 pounds and now make it 10, 15 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, dude. You're fucking hurting somebody. Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's, it's like that kind of reality that people don't even want to accept. Because the same thing, like, oh, it's real easy to get into my car with my big fucking coffee and my fucking texting, and I gotta make sure my Instagram fucking posts come up, and I fucking, oh, wait, I saw somebody walking on the side of the street. I don't give a fuck. I got my sandwich and I'm dipping my nuggets. It's like, dude, like my grandpa, like
It's
I said, dude,
scary.
like, dude, he's like, you are driving a motherfucking weapon. You know what I mean? Like, if you don't understand that, dude, like, then you should never get in a car.
But nobody well, they took driver's ed out of schools completely.
Yeah, and replaced
like-
it with special ed. You know, like, it's like the fucking retards are fucking running amok. Teach them how to drive.
What do they I don't even know what they teach in school nowadays. It's
Yeah.
scary. That's a whole nother topic to get into. We'll talk about that when we talk about how they canceled the Department of Education.
I mean, the thing is we talked about the numbers. You know, like I'm a stickler for the numbers, especially because I've been in business for myself for a long time. And it's like, if I looked at the numbers of something and said, hey, listen, like out of all the tattoo shops in the area, we score the lowest, but we spend more money than anybody else.
What's wrong there?
Something ain't working. The math don't fucking add up.
Right.
It's like, well, okay, so then we need to completely fucking reassess something because those are completely different ends of the spectrum. If you're spending more money, you should have better results. I could see if we have terrible results and we're spending less money. Like, that makes sense. You know, so it's like you have to maybe, again, strip everything down, figure out where the fucking clogs are. And that takes time, unfortunately. And, like, the thing that sucks is that we're looking at probably, I mean, before our lifetime, I'm sure, but at least in our lifetime, 3 decades of bureaucracy of people just fucking staffing and staffing and staffing and staffing. I mean, fucking everybody needs an assistant and a fucking secretary and a fucking agent. And
Yeah.
everybody needs fucking security. And, it's like, oh my God, dude. Like, they clearly weren't pouring any money into, like, the filing systems, for, like, the people that are retiring out of the fucking government. None of that system has been updated since Windows 95. They're working out of a fucking cave.
Yeah.
Yeah, which she brought up an interesting point. Maybe that's a strategic situation to where, like, okay, well, now with all the digital era being so easily manipulated and hackable and blah, 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 maybe keep it on paper. Maybe keep it fucking Stone Age. Maybe keep a hard record of something. Because I've always said, with the simulation theory and about ancient civilizations, people are like, well, if there was all this advanced technology, there would be evidence of it. Well, if you look at what we're looking at right now, less and less of what we do is being documented in a physical way. Everything is digital. Even money is so close to
It
being
could be
coming.
wiped out almost
Dude,
instantly.
if the internet goes out, we're losing a lot of our record or human history. I mean, literally, if you can't access the fucking internet and satellites, we have no record of anything we did in the last 20 years. All your Instagram posts,
Gone.
all those meals you fucking made, they don't mean shit anymore. All those Instagram posts don't mean shit.
Right?
So it's like, like we just write less, we document less on paper. It's like the only stuff that really exists right now is the stuff they were inscribing in fucking stone. You know what I mean? So like, if you look at any advancement of technology, like the Earth has been here for 4.6 billion years. The universe has been here for 14.6 billion years. And we've been here, if you look at the cosmic calendar, like this is the beginning of the universe, this is now. Human civilization, every fucking thing that humans have ever done, from the fucking single cell to right now, only accounts for like a couple seconds of the cosmic timeline. You know what I mean? If you put the whole existence of the universe into a relatable scale, our whole existence only accounts for a very small sliver of that time. And look at all we've done. I mean, look at the advancement of technology. So it's like, okay, you really think that all of that time was just dead fucking silence, dead space, nothing fucking happened for 14.5999999 fucking billion years. And then all of a sudden a big spark and everything will happen. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I would say that it probably makes more than, any sense at all, like, to think that, like, something happened to where, like, again, rapid advancement of technology, a simulation was created, or at least, like, I think of, like, like, human life was like, a test, like almost like planting seeds around the fucking solar system, and who knows, it might sprout up over here, might sprout up over here, you just never fucking know, an interstellar fucking species just going around kind of just, impregnating potential planets,
What do you think about us wanting to go to Mars? Do you think that's a real thing? Yeah?
I think we've been there before. We came from Mars, I think. I would honestly think.
They argue that they're saying looks like there was shit built there.
I did see that they actually found something that's very hard to explain as a natural occurrence as far as a structure.
Yeah.
A square perimeter
Another
looks like a
fucking
foundation.
pyramid. It looks
it looks like a foundation of something. But again, I mean,
we've never been there. So
we've never been there. Our fucking existence of human, our knowledge of humans have never been
to
there.
really tell you, like, oh yeah, that's a foundation.
But I'm telling you what, man. I mean, based on what we know about, like, the evolution of a planet, the creation of a planet, it almost makes too much sense that Mars was at some point habitable, much like the Earth, had water, had an atmosphere, had things like that. And at some point, just like anything, it has a life frequency. You know what I mean? Like, everything dies at some point. Planet runs out of resources, it gets too far away from the star, it just can't sustain. And it dies off. I mean, like, and whether a civilization moved from Mars and forwarded, and on from there or what, but I mean, like, it just makes too much sense. There's just too much fucking time involved. It's like, man, and now looking, into deep space, it's like now it's like unexplained stuff now to where, like, when they're looking back, they could almost see back to, like, the Big Bang, the origins of the universe. But now they're seeing galaxies that are far further along in their formation than they even could be if if the universe started here, you can't have fully formed spiral galaxies here because spiral galaxies take this long to form. So how did they form here? So it's a lot of stuff now. Like I said, they just got this recent data back from the James Webb Telescope to now. I think that, like I said, we're looking almost through a fucking a supermassive black hole. That our whole entire universe is inside a supermassive black hole, and that we're actually looking out, and that's why we're getting such different timelines as far as light frequencies and things like that from distant space. Like it's a fucking trip, dude. Like I have a headache now thinking about it. Dude. Like
Right.
it's fucking atrocious, dude. Like it's
It
so good.
does. I
It's-
do.
It's good though because I love to entertain the idea, like I said, of like fourth dimension about multiple civilizations. You know, like past and present. Like I said, this stuff coming out with the pyramids. How much of it you can believe, I don't know, but
They claim they're hundreds of feet deep or whatever, goes
Yeah.
way and under the.
and it makes sense, dude. I mean, like we're not engineers, but say they say that there's two big cavities at the bottom of that, and that they potentially had those full of water. So essentially about hydroelectricity, how flowing water, because like where the pyramids are, we know now because of water erosion and stuff like that, that whole oasis where the pyramids are used to be water, dude, and beautiful like palm trees and fucking shit.
Yeah.
And again, historians want to make you believe that that's always
Always
been a
been
vast
sand,
desert.
yep.
You know what I mean? It's like, so it's getting too much evidence now to ignore. It's like, so there was clearly water moving through there, and they think that these pyramids were built as a power source, and that
Yep.
this gave electricity to a large population of people, if not across the globe. And they have science to back up the fact that whatever was the outer coating of those pyramids is a good conductor for electricity. The pathways inside the pyramid make no sense as far as pathways for a human being to walk through or for a fucking tomb. You know what I mean? There's just, I mean, we've even known since we were kids that there's
They're
never been a
tombs and
body
you
in
can't-
there.
Yeah.
So, like, you mean to tell me that this was all this work was put in and there never was even a body in there? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, and Egyptologists are so against it, and it's because of the money, the monetization of Egypt and the tourism involved in Egypt, that they've got to protect so much of that Egyptian fucking history and that heritage. Because if you take that away and you say, oh, the Egyptians didn't even build the pyramids, they just found it, then there goes their whole fucking tourism bracket. You got to rewrite all the history books. The Egyptian fucking heritage is, they're just nobody. You know what I mean? Like, if they didn't build the pyramids, what were they? That's their whole fucking
Right.
identity.
Well, that's the thing. We kind of know they did. I don't know.
We know they didn't.
Yeah, any depiction of the pyramids is going to be men in loincloths building the fucking pyramids. And that's not even, that can't be. You can't, they're not explainable.
And I mean, to talk about how much distance was traversed, I mean, and the specific material that was chosen, I mean, like, there's just not enough answers to all of the questions. It's like,
No.
and for them to completely deny it, I mean, like, literally, like, if you've ever seen, like, Graham Hancock or Randall Carlson, those are my two favorite guests on Rogan.
Okay.
Because a lot of times they're talking about, apocalypse stuff and, like, cataclysms and just the history of the earth and, I mean, these fucking systems that the earth goes through as far as, like, I mean, a lot of times, I mean, there's a complete wipe of most of the things that are on the fucking planet. Climate change has been happening for billions of fucking years, and it's like, this is just a natural process, and I guarantee you that nothing that I can do, I can throw this little piece of paper out into the ground. Oh my God, I littered. The earth doesn't give a fuck about that piece of paper. You think that's really gonna fucking ruin our fucking planet? I mean, I might say that maybe some of these gases might be affecting our atmosphere. That does make sense because I understand how an ozone layer works and stuff, and obviously man-made, gases and things like that, like could affect it. But I truly don't think, as the ants that we are on this fucking planet, that nothing that we could do could ever really fucking ruin the planet. Like, what are we gonna do to this fucking thing? You really think that we're capable?
Yeah, we test nuclear bombs on the fucker. So I don't, you know what I mean?
Well, when it's like Chernobyl's over here, and they can just say, "Hey, just don't go there for 100 years."
I know.
The
we
rest
just
of the
watched
planet's fine.
We just watched a whole show about Chernobyl last night. me and her.
Chernobyl's like a zit on the Earth.
And the craziest thing was, right, is like we're so fucking dumb as a species, okay? So in Chernobyl, we just learned this last night. They demolitioned all that shit, right, with a big crane with these big grapples on it, right, and tried to fold all that radioactive fucking material in on each other and all this shit, right? when they were done, the machinery grapples were more fucking radioactive than the shit they were handling. So they just took them out in the woods somewhere and fucking dumped them. Because we're so fucking smart.
You'd think they'd put them in a hole and bury them or some shit.
Too, yeah,
you know? But even then, it's going into the soil. Like,
right.
That's hilarious. Can you imagine, like, a fucking excavator just glowing? They're like,
yeah, they just,
oh, shit.
They just dumped them in the woods and left them there. Like,
man.
Because that don't run into the water and animals can't get near them.
And
And
the kids were playing on the other day.
Like, oh, shit, I got radioactive excavator duty tomorrow. Fuck. Fucking mother. Third time this week I gotta be in that glowing fucking excavator. Holy fuck. Got fucking 3 tumors.
Well, the whole show, they were talking about how the health effects and all them shit, but that Chernobyl was real bad. That fucking killed a lot of people.
Did they say when it'll be safe?
No.
Because I know it's like, I mean, not any time in our lifetime.
Alright.
You know, like, I mean, it's definitely hundreds and hundreds of years before it'll be deemed safe. Yeah. But it's like, how is that stuff not leaking into the atmosphere? I mean, like, it's not in a bubble. You know what I mean? They don't have a fucking dome over it. So it's like, how is that not slowly... I mean, it's got to be evaporating or something. You know,
I don't know
like...
nothing about radiation to know.
No, me either.
Nothing.
Although I did learn today that there's obviously a lot of people that get x-rays or any kind of maybe other medical procedures where you're exposed to fucking radiation, but people that obviously have radiation damage and stuff like that, and take this as an opportunity to maybe promote what might be the next podcast and also a local business. But there's a place here called the Dream Float. And
are you struggling with stress, anxiety, chronic pain, or just burned out? Dream Float in St. Mary's might be exactly what your body's been asking for. They've got float tanks to ease your mind, hyperbaric oxygen therapy to speed up healing, and IV hydration for energy. Infrared saunas will help with pain and detoxing. Trust me, folks, it's not just luxury, it's recovery. Check out beautywithinmd.com or find them on Facebook, Dream Float in St. Mary's. This is the future of healing people, and if you've heard it here, let them know that we sent you. Dream Float in St. Mary's.
be in an absolutely pitch black dark room, you know, maybe faint music, but ideally no absolutely dead silence, because it's all happening internally. You know what I mean? That psilocybin and that experience is more beneficial internally, and you actually want to deprive yourself from physical and tangible senses. You don't necessarily want to be fucking distracted by feeling or hearing and things like that. You know what I mean? You want that psilocybin to essentially be able to work with a blank canvas. So the deprivation, the float tank is basically like, if you know anything about like Epsom salt, it makes the water thick essentially to where like you could float in it. It's only it's only a small amount of water in there, but you're in a big pod. If you think about like the Jetsons, it's like a big pod. It's huge, bigger than a stable, and you get in it and it's got just a little bit of water in it, and you're in there, and it's just what it is. It's sensory deprivation. You want to deprive your body of sight, sound, smell, all of it, and it's amazing, dude. Like, I mean, like, I spent some significant time. I mean, most people do like 30 minutes. I do like 2 hours at a time.
Really?
I love to just detach from reality, because literally, like, I mean, I've always explained it like, you'll forget you have feet, you'll forget you have a body, you don't feel your body, you don't, you know what I mean, like, and like, it always helps. I always take like an edible marijuana or something like that, like a weed gummy or something like that, because that just kind of helps you relax, but yeah, so like literally coming out of that, you're able to like literally feel like you're completely reborn. I mean, like it's a meditative state that's completely unattainable in the real world without like a psilocybin or something like that, because again, you have to be able to detach yourself from sight, sound, smell, feeling, and like you literally will float in there, and you can do 30 minutes. You can do it with lighting, you can do it with soft music, you can do entry level, build yourself up to extremes, but it's fucking incredible, dude. Like literally you come out of there, dude, and like I said, it's almost like if you've done mushrooms or you've done psilocybin mushrooms, where you're like, wow, like I just feel happier, like I feel like I'm seeing things almost like for the first time, like I'm receiving nature for the first time, where I'm receiving, human interactions. I've almost like lifted the stress and the weight of just interactions. Like it's almost hard to explain. Like I said, it's almost like a spiritual feeling to where, like I said, after a session with like psilocybin mushrooms, I always feel like a new person. Like my brain has been regenerated and I can think more clearly. It's very similar to that. But this place is locally, and it's actually fucking like 2 doors down from our tattoo shop. And I just finally made the first step to go in and talk to this lady,
All right.
about being on the podcast and maybe working out some stuff. But she actually had let us know about something that I had no idea about, and it's actually a hyperbolic tank, and it's a pressurized tank, and you get in it, and it actually can help with like nerve regeneration if you've had nerve damage, if you have like scar tissue, or you've had like skin grafts, if you've
Changed
had,
my life.
so like you're in a pressurized canister essentially, and you can sleep in there, you can fucking roll over, you can fucking get comfy, you can sleep in there. And it's a whole process. You meet with a doctor beforehand, and they obviously make sure that it's one right for you and going to benefit you. And then they also talk about just different parameters that, depending on what your goal is and how many sessions you might need. But like, so someone with like tissue damage, someone with muscle damage, someone with nerve damage can get in this, and actually it will reboot your body's ability to reproduce like skin cells. It'll help you be able to like regenerate nerve cells. And then they have like secondary treatments where they actually can go in and kind of zap your scar tissue and allow it to regenerate again new skin cells, and actually almost eliminate scars through natural regeneration. It's been so like I went in there to talk to her about floating, and learned about all this other shit that could like not only benefit like her, and like, I mean, I know tons of fucking people that have just been fucked up over life and just like in accidents and just
Yeah.
have nerve damage or any kind of, I mean, like the float tank is more for like physical and mental trauma, PTSD, anxiety, stress, things like that. The hyperbolic chamber would be more for like a physical therapy. And then they also offer a sauna, and then they also have fucking IV hydration bar, which again, if you have trouble or struggle with keeping yourself hydrated or keeping yourself, nutrient, you know,
Right.
nutrients build up, a small session with the IV bar, you can kind of replenish your system, get your vitamin B up, get your vitamin C up, get your hydration up, and you're good for a week or a month or 2 weeks, like, so, I mean, they just are a powerhouse of new medicine,
That's
as
awesome.
opposed to where the old solutions were take a pill or,
Yeah.
do physical therapy or do this. And it's like, we tried that. That's been beaten like a dead horse for a long time. And we've come to learn that like taking medication, for one, obviously causes more problems and more addiction for people, and to have people that maybe have nerve pain or nerve damage, or maybe just have mental pain or PTSD or anxiety, and you can get therapy in a natural way and recover to where you don't need any more therapy or any medication. I mean, like, that's a fucking life changing situation for a lot of people, whether you've had real trauma or just deal, like, I mean, like I talk about stupid shit, just dealing with like managing multiple clients, managing multiple fucking locations, like to sit in the float tank for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, man. Like, I come out of there, dude, and like I'm prepared to fucking, tackle it all, and it's just it's a really great opportunity for anybody, like I said, that doesn't want to take an anxiety medication or take a fucking pill or change their diet. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do now that, is just new fucking science. And what brought that up was the radiation damage, that I can actually reverse damage that's been caused by overexposure to radiation,
All right.
which is fucking crazy because, you mean, like, radiation, that's to me like some of the worst shit. Oh, it's terrible. You have fucking tumors and disfigurement and mutations. It's like, so like you can literally, with pressurization, reverse the effects of overexposure to radiation. It's like, and that's right here in town.
That's
It's like,
cool.
it's fucking crazy, dude. I mean, this is science that, again, in our lifetime, like, I mean, this is gonna, I mean, change the human experience. We're old fucks now, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my God, like we think about our kids, might not ever have cancer. You know what I mean? You might not ever have, problems with radiation exposure. I mean, you just might not have these kind of issues because of the change in technology, like we
Right.
talked about, like, look at the fucking back in the day when you died from the fucking common cold or the flu because they didn't have a vaccine or something. It's like this modern medicine, dude, is like unbelievable. You know, and actually, did you see the Ron White podcast?
I just was listening to it. I don't know if I listened to all of it. What did they talk about in modern medicine?
He just got back. I would imagine it was from Peru. He didn't say specifically.
Yeah.
But he just got back from Peru. He went on an ayahuasca.
Yes, the ayahuasca.
I would say retreat, but at the same time, this is a fucking real medical facility with real doctors, and these are people that are actually administering this stuff in a sanctioned environment, and there's real science behind it, and people are actually changing their lives with it.
Completely changing their lives with it, from what I've been hearing about it.
Psilocybin and ayahuasca is going to be more beneficial to the human experience and the human growth than marijuana could have ever been. We fucking spent our whole lives talking about medical marijuana and the benefits of marijuana, dude. That shit is a cigarette compared to psilocybin and possibly ayahuasca. You know, like, have you ever heard like how they discovered like ayahuasca? I mean, they say that the gods taught them how to make it. You know what I mean? It's weird because it's a natural plant that only grows over here, and then it has to be combined with a fucking other plant over here and cooked at a certain temperature.
Really?
And this is in the fucking jungle in the rainforest with. That's how we fucking talk. How the fuck did they figure out how to combine this and this in a certain temperature and make some psychedelic fucking tryptamine fucking drug, dude? Like, you know, and anybody that's ever been asked how they fucking figured out how to make it, they say the fucking gods told us how to make it. The gods told us how to make it. It's like this. Aliens, brother.
Wow.
You know, gift from above, you know. Aliens, man. Extraterrestrials. Where are we at? We still good? What do you want to talk about camouflage for?
Camouflage.
That's the only thing I wrote down.
The only thing we wrote down was camouflage. And we
10-speed tyrant.
we brought up camouflage, like talking about something to show a kid. Oh, this can. You said that you wouldn't know.
Camouflage.
Oh, yeah.
That's scary. That's an alcohol monster.
That is fucking scary.
Like I said, granted, the clerk at the store might say, hey, Sonny, this is alcohol. You can't buy that. But for the small percentage of people who only think nefariously, I could sure trick some kid into thinking that's just an energy drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how fucking much are they really thinking about how someone could use that? Because that's 6% alcohol. That would fuck me up if I drank that thing. Like, imagine someone who doesn't, you know, have any exposure to alcohol. You know, so like the whole, you know, making that not really visibly contain alcohol or, you know, not the same as energy drink. Because I'm telling you, them two cans side by fucking side don't look much different, if anything different at all.
No, that was what was crazy, that they're like that. But
It doesn't even barely say anything on the front, right?
it says
Just
hard.
Hard. Oh.
Yeah, see?
Go hard with energy.
And I'll tell you, even that Mike's Hard Lemonade, for decades I didn't know if that actually contained alcohol because it doesn't say booze or it's just this hard lemonade. So like they blur that line. I never drank it to know. So it's like, well, the same thing with like the White Claw. I'm like, is that booze? Or is that like seltzer water? I don't know. I don't never fucking had a White Claw. I don't know any fucking basic bitches.
I have Arizona tea.
Arizona tea.
Yeah, hard Arizona tea. And it just says hard on the.
Alright.
See? Yeah, when I'm hard, it's a completely different thing. You know, it doesn't mean I'm fucking boozing. It doesn't mean I'm fucking boozing.
Oh, man.
It's a wine cool.
Yeah. Well, anything else?
No. We will. How about, though, we will talk about the Sawin Logs podcast. A lumberman's a good name. I'm just a loader operator at the sawmill. You know what I mean? I just run the loader.
So I find myself like, third generation.
Right.
You know.
Lumberman's a good one.
That's probably the right term.
A lot of people say like lumberjack, but a lumberjack technically is just the guy on the green chain that stacks boards.
Right.
Kind of like a guy working in the woods would be considered a logger.
See,
that's what we would call him.
I never liked the green line, dude. I like the dry line. Dude.
Yeah.
Rough edges, dude. I'm telling you what. I think about that more often than you'd ever even realize, dude. Just fucking zinging, fucking 16, fucking. It's like, I guess, 16 footers. It was the longest fucking board we do, dude. I'm telling you, dude. Like 8's just bing, 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 bing. 6 foot, bing. 16 footers, though, dude. You gotta like, I loved bouncing them down the chain, dude. you know, when you really start to learn how to handle lumber, it's like it's
yeah.
a whole different thing. It's like I have a 16-foot fucking board and I'm fucking 5 foot what?
Uh-huh.
How am I gonna move this thing that's fucking long and heavy and
But
thick?
you can manipulate them around
It's
like nothing.
dude, you find that fulcrum point, that fucking, and I'm telling you what, some of them fucking bend, dude. You can hop them motherfuckers, boing, and fucking, and I just run down the fucking line, dude, and fucking it's flying in the fucking air, dude. Like this is where like I'm always like so cheesy, fucking like, man, I wish I had a GoPro then. You know what I mean? Like, dude, imagine having a fucking GoPro when we were like fucking hottest fucking day of the week on Matson's, dude, just slamming fucking lumber, dude.
Uh-huh.
Like, man, it was just such a good time, dude. Like I said, like I can get off on just physical labor, dude. When I know like I'm doing hard work and I'm doing it well, dude, like there's just nothing like it, dude. It's like having a good workout, you know? Like the more you do and the more you exert yourself, the more pumped you are. You know, like it's just so good. You're like tearing through fucking gloves, man. Like it's so good. Then you got fucking Charlie fucking over there blowing his nose in his shirt. Oh my god, you sick motherfucker! And then he's like rubbing it in.
Oh God.
Charlie Stewart, man.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Shout out to the Stewarts. The whole family was that fucking disgusting. You fucking. They don't have internet. They didn't pay their bill. They ain't seen this.
we will do that. We will. I got a list of guys that will be on, and it'll be interesting to hear those stories, I think.
So yeah, this is something to look out for. I mean, like I don't know what percentage of people are interested in finding out more about the lumber industry, but again, trees are fucking everywhere, and they're absolutely detrimental to your existence. You know, and it's like if we didn't have trees, we wouldn't fucking be here. You know, so it's like, why not learn about the thing that keeps you alive? Anything you want to add, sir? We're gonna fucking
wrap this up.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, as always, it's always a pleasure doing this with you, Brian. Man, this is always a good time. I would do this once a week, dude. So this is
awesome.
Awesome, dude. Thank you, man. Love you, brother.
You're welcome.